There we go. We got the audio set. We're a professional streamer over here. Welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today, we've kind of got quite a lot to do, I suppose. We want to try out the new insect stuff because the new insect stuff is kind of the new like free to play / gemless. I think a lot of people use these terms kind of as the same thing, but for the most part, it's going to be kind of a gemless thing more than free to play because most of Rush is basically very free to play friendly. So we're going to be trying out Dynast Dorcas today. That is going to be the plan. We're also going to be going over just some of the other bits and bobs. We want to talk about the new alt styles that we're getting, what that could potentially mean for the future. We want to talk about the new cards that have come out, I suppose, the new leaks that we have. There's one new Rush leak, which is, I mean, it's not really going to do anything. Probably just as much as Predator Gunlian has done. Or Ganlian, I think his new name is. But it's nothing big, unfortunately. We'll also be talking a little bit about Rush Rivals, because we do have just a little bit of news. It's kind of bittersweet news. The obviously really good news for some people, and really bad news for others. But before we get into that, let's see who we got in the chat. We've got Darth Victor. Hello, my friend. We got Kuro-sama. Insect hype. Let's go. Insects are a really... Insects are like, they're underpowered. Obviously, we've literally just gotten a new wave of support in the OCG, which looks like it's going to make insects pretty damn good. But for what we have in Rush, insects potentially could actually be reasonably good in Duel Links. But the big elephant in the room is your opponent kind of needs to not have anything that's higher than level 8. If they just have level 8 and lower monsters, it's pretty good. You just get a boss that just gets to pop something every turn. That's actually really strong. Unfortunately, we do struggle against fusions, and trying to get rid of maximums is going to be almost impossible. So, not great. Not great, unfortunately. But that being said, we are going to give them a good bash. So, who else do we have? Rebel support waiting room. Rebels are a weird one. There is still a few Rebel support cards we haven't got, which is a bit weird. But it's not super surprising. So one of them is like a 2600 defense monster. I think it might be 25. It's No Wave, whatever No Wave's defense stat is. There are a couple of like spell traps, a couple of monsters, nothing like super big until we get to like the Go Rush Royal Rebel support. But Royal Rebels right now in the physical game is still actually quite a good deck. People have been pairing it with Executees, so they can't give us the stuff from too far in the future because that might make it too good, right? So it's like this weird balancing act. Hello, Hikari. Welcome on in. We should, since Hikari is here, we should give the old shout out to Hikari before I forget, because I'm really bad. I'm really bad at doing shout outs. So I just need to like, whenever I do remember it, I've just got to do it. So big shout out to Hikari, tournament organizer, Rush and Speed streamer, as well as the tournament host. So I believe Hikari did, was it Cloudy you did? I think you did Cloudy, right? I'm pretty sure it's Cloudy. What in the pot, Tomato? Hello, Drags, and welcome. Uh-oh, from Hikari. I'm happy that types like insects are getting love, considering they're usually the bottom of the barrel, as well as reptiles. Yeah, I mean, there are some, like, good reptile decks, right? Like, Ogdoadic is, like... It was semi-competitive in Duel Links. It wasn't, like, a tiered deck, really, but, like, it was semi-competitive. There have always been, just throughout history, like, types that have got the short end of the stick. For me, like, Rock has always been one. Obviously, you get things like Adamancipator. There's always an outlier. Every type always has at least a good deck. But, like, in Rush, for example, Rock is still kind of the short end of the stick. We have Magnets now, and Magnets is okay, but that's kind of it. We have Kim Friend. Insects are the final Rush support in Duel Links. Kim Friend really trying to manifest destinies, really pushing for it. We'll see if he can manage it. It's Draco Kid. Welcome on in. It is I. Rebels need the spell trap pop boss. Well, it's not just spell traps though, right? It's face down cards, and I think it's any face down card, and then if you do pop something, no, I think it's pop. I'm trying to remember. It's either pop a back row and then you can pop anything, or it's pop a face down card, then you can pop a back row. It's something along those lines. It gets a bonus effect based on if you get a pop. But it's really good. I think that the main issue that Rebels have always had is they're really bad at dealing with face-down monsters, which is why in Duel Links we were playing Stop Defenders. Literally to say, no, you're going to have a face-up monster. The issue is, if we give them the card that solves their one problem, it could be a bit problematic. Now, we're still going to have the whole, like, heavy metal, can't pop fusion monsters and stuff, but, like, I think that's not going to come up too much, realistically. Let's try and catch up. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, CZ. Welcome on in. Royal Rebels, my beloved. I actually really like Royal. I like them aesthetically. I like their gameplay. I think they're just a really cool deck overall. Executees are level 6 that can be special, so it does make sense. Exactly. I'm sure you probably have more experience with the deck than I do, Draco, to be honest. Speed streamer, exactly. Who cares about speed? Am I right? I thoroughly enjoy speed, personally. It's a weird one. Quite often, I will go and talk in other streamers' chats. And every time Rush gets mentioned, there'll be like 3 or 4 people in the chat that are sat there like, dog shit format, I hate Rush, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, why are you like this? Like, usually, and this isn't 100%, this is not like everyone does this, right? But usually, the Rush players are like, oh, speed's cool. Yeah, I'll play that every now and then. But the speed players are like, no, Rush is evil. Get rid of Rush. And I'm like, come on, guys. Again, it's not all speed players. Again, there will be some Rush players that do bash speed as well. But, like, I'm kind of in the camp of, I like both. Why can't we just all get along? Why can't we all just play the game? I enjoy it. It's great. It's great fun. I love my Dragon Maids. I love my Fluffles. I love my Orcust. I also love all my Rush decks, right? It's just the thing. I know, right? Ogdowatic, this ain't Speed Duels, old man. Or Master Rule. I mean, could be. RPG Prince, hi Tomato, what's up? I'm sorry, happy bro, Crystron support. We are almost at full power. Nice. I know a couple of people that really like the Crystron deck. I personally have never really gelled with it. I've played against it a few times. I've never actually played it myself, so I don't really have much of an opinion on it. By the way, RPG Prince, we will be jumping into Duel Links a lot earlier this stream, so if you want us to watch the replay you were talking about before, we can definitely get on and do that. We have Whistling Bird. Good morning, my friend. Or I suppose good afternoon, because you'll be in Europe with me. When Rush Rivals news. I mean, we were going to wait until we had a few more people. We might have enough now. I don't know. We'll get to it before the dueling part of the stream. Face down removal. We got no removal or no piercing. Not even a generic fiend to do it. But that's the thing with Rebels is, if your opponent's board is face up, they should be giddy with glee, because they get to do exactly what they want. I'm going to wipe your whole board. I'm going to pop this. I'm going to gain its attack. I'm going to do anything I want to basically do a crap ton of damage and destroy your entire board. But face down cards, they go, oh, I can't deal with this, right? If you get the ability to say, I'm also just going to wipe everything if you have face down cards, the deck becomes kind of overpowered a little bit, right? Now, there are still limitations, like we're saying, heavy metal can't pop high-level monsters. There's things like Invasion is basically just fodder to be tributed. We're never going to use Invasion's effect. So like, there are still some other weaknesses, but the key weakness has always been face down cards. And I think if we just completely abolish that, I don't know. It's a weird one, especially at this stage in the game. I think when we get better cards, like the ability to react to summons a lot more easier, when we get things like Shady, we get things like Sunset, I think then it'll be fine to come out. But until then, it might be a little bit spooky. Megalovania hit the stream. When's Tomato going to introduce Draco's Rivals? Speed is fun. I'm just not too into it. I play both Rush and Speed. I really like both, personally. Again, I will always be a Rush first player. Like, Rush is always going to be a primary, but I really, really like going and playing Speed. Like, I genuinely sometimes have more fun playing Speed than Rush, depending on the meta, depending on how long we've been waiting for new product, depending on the deck I'm playing. So, like, personally, I really like it. Is there more 7's fusion support we could get to bring it to tier 1? Yes. If we get Master of Seven's Road, I think it's called. That is a boss monster that has a continuous effect that boosts its attack for every different named dark spellcaster in your graveyard. Or it might be different level. I think it's different level. I think different name is a different one. But it gains a continuous attack boost. And if you have 7 or more in the graveyard, it gains piercing. So on its own, it is a hard to deal with guy that also is a win condition on its own, which is really, really good. And it's just made using 7's Road Witch and 7's Road Magician. So like, that on itself will be plenty. Boo, Rush is trash for no reason. Exactly. I freaking love getting OTK'd with 2 bosses on board and 6k life points by dragons. It's the best part. It's the best part, Manicust. Absolutely the best part. Speaking of Manicust, there has been a little bit of back and forth about your deck list. There's been a... I mean, again, it's getting one guide, right? It's literally getting one guide. But there was one guy who really doesn't like your red boot list. Because we basically did just post your list verbatim, because we didn't end up changing anything. In the YouTube video we did. And there's just one guy that just really doesn't like it. I just thought you should know that. I love both too, Lamau. It's similar how some people put down Duel Links in Master Duel. We are all part of the same community. It's weird. Everyone likes punching down. And I don't know why. On one hand, it's like I have to punch down so I'm not tempted to go and play the other one. At least Duel Links to Duel Links, you can kind of get behind... I feel like rush stuff is taking away from my speed stuff. I think that's a weak argument, because I think realistically they had to slow down at some point anyway. But I can understand it, right? I can understand people not liking it. And I think that's completely fine. You can have that opinion. You just don't have to, like, throw it in everyone's face all the time. It's really weird. Because they probably fear for their Duel Links content. I mean, yeah, they're basically whistling for what you've just said. 100%. I can see that being the case. I love my Unchained. I love Royal Rebels. Unchained is also a really fun deck I do really like. I did a duel on speed. I'm already tired. How do I cog? I haven't cogged. I think I've cogged in speed twice since Rush came out. So, like, I basically, like, if I get time, I'll do it. Other than that, we don't really bother with it. Oh, God, my nose is starting to run. How is this happening? Oh. I don't feel like I'm cold. I don't feel like I have a cold. But my nose is just... It's not agreeing with me today. Let's put it that way. Time to use heroes, I guess. Well, it's a... Heroes is a anomaly, right? We don't tend to have one deck everyone's play. I'm saying that. We haven't long been free from the bird meta. But before the birds, there was quite a long gap, right? Because the main, like, single deck at the tippy top before birds would have been, like, Tachyon. And that was ages ago. So, like, maybe this is a bit of an anomaly. Send them fly! Man, I love Sonic music. Oh, yeah. Sonic music is peak, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah, I lost the game, but I was cooking a spicy deck. I actually threw the game by banishing the wrong monster, and in the end... Well, I mean, we can check it out, right? Master of Seven's Road is different names, unless I'm coping. I'm going by memory. It's been so long since I summoned it. Is that Ninjetti Ursus? Welcome on in, my friend. There's the spell that was in Ridercross that reduces attack by 600. That one's nice for Bluetooth. Yes, I've seen a lot of people commenting that on the videos as well. Forgot about that spell. Yeah, Rightful Magic. This person topping higher than me with... I mean, that... I used that argument when we were discussing it. Again, there wasn't like... It's all fun and game, right? It's not like anyone's like... actively attacking anyone, but it was just like some basic criticisms, and I went back and forth, basically using the points that you had given me, right? Justification for some of the inclusions, etc. I cogged in speed like once this past year. I mean, again, it's not a requirement, right? That spell plus the minus 400 from the skill could be okay for Blue Fang. Well, yeah, if you combine the two, it's effectively letting Blue Fang pop 1,500 or 2,500 attack monsters, right? So it's still not going to be super useful into, like, fusions. But it does have some added use. I think the thing is, there's two different builds, right? There's the I'm focusing on the red boot half of the deck, and there's the I'm focusing on the Blue Fang half of the deck. Because they don't really have a similar game plan. Like, red boot is like, I'm going to turbo guys into the graveyard, I'm going to burn my opponent, I'm going to get up to 3,100 attack, we're going to get them for some big damage. Blue Fang is like, I'm going to reduce all your attack, wipe as much of your board as I can. Ideally, try and flip your stuff up so that I can wipe it a bit easier. There is a little bit of overlap, but, like, not a lot, realistically. So I feel like either you stick a load of cards in your deck to really fuel the Blue Fang half, or you stick a load of cards in your deck to fuel the red boot half. It's a little bit, like, awkward, right? Your list is good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's strong. I was joking. I want to cog with Borrow Link. Borrow Link is a weird one for me. I like Borrow Link. I think Revolver is really cool. I think a lot of the Borrow cards specifically are really, really interesting. Like, I always really like Borrow Sword. I think Savage is cool, even though it's not in the game. I just am of the opinion that we have had Boral Link in the meta for too long. I think there was like a solid like 9 to 10 month period where Boral Link was a tiered deck. And I just remember going, oh man, it's still here. Yup, it's still here. Yup, it's still here. I feel like now Sky Strikers is becoming that, where I'm like, why is Sky Strikers still on the tier list? It's been here for so long. It's just gonna like sit here forever. Right, let's get rid of that so I can actually read these messages. I've been using it and get rid of most bosses is fun. Nice. Fortitude Dragon helps too. Yes, sadly, I don't got no Fortitude. I think that's a problem a lot of people have. People keep asking, like, what can I replace this with? I think in the Manicus build, Fortitude is good, but you don't need it, right? Because we're not trying to hit specific thresholds so we can pop stuff with Blue Fang most of the time. We're just trying to weaken them so we can just attack over them, right? Oof, I have tweaked my list a little bit and need to test it more. Also, if this guy gets a top, I'll listen to him. I mean, it's one of those things where I wouldn't... It's one dude on the internet, and he's not even directly talking to you. He's talking to me, right? So I wouldn't let it bother you, like, at all. Second, like, people are allowed to have their valid criticisms, right? The question is, can they formulate a good argument and articulate what they think and feel? Because, like, it's okay to say, I don't like this because X. And then if I come back and say, okay, well, you don't like this because of X, but the reason X is there is because of this, this, and this. And then they can come back and say, okay, you know, I understand that, but in my opinion, this, and this isn't a good enough reason because of blah, 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 blah. And then you can just keep the discussion going. I think that's healthy. That's a discussion. That's good feedback. Even if nothing actually comes of it, it's still good to have the discussion. What I don't like personally, which is not what this person is doing whatsoever, is when someone will just say something's bad and then they won't talk about it. They'll be like, this is bad because it's bad. And it's like, you've added nothing to the conversation. you have done nothing but just throw a criticism with no basis whatsoever. And it just seems really weird. But when it's not that, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy to just go have a back and forth and have a chat with someone. I have to say, if I had 3 Fortitude go for Manicus list, I have to say the normal 7's dual theme is probably the best dual theme in the game. It is really good. A lot of people are leaving fodder for blue already, and the flap turning on it too. Dweejo's theme, I'm still Legend 1. Man, I had entire month to cog, still at Legend 1. There's also people that say flip flap is bad, boo, idiots. I have started to see a lot of people play flap without flip. And that is something I'm seeing quite common on Twitter in Japanese lists. So I think a lot of Japanese players are like, no, flap good, but I don't care for flip. And we'll see if that trend continues or not. 2 years more now. Sea Serpent best deck, pretty whammon. Are you talking about the Abyss Kite ones? Abyss Girls, whatever they're called? Gotta love seeing strikers never bricking. I mean, that's always the way. It's always the way. I've taken it out. I'm just going to tech Curse of the Forbidden Seal in my decks. Good luck fusion summoning. I mean, because, like, that'll stop a lot of it, right? But there's never a way to, like, fully stop it. Because, like, there's still, like, super poly, right? There's always going to be something. Was thinking a version that uses Volcano Attack, Dragon Secret Order, and Pressure by cutting Blue Fang and some other stuff. I have actually, Ursus, already built a deck that is exactly what you were describing. I haven't tested it yet, but I do have it already built. In fact, we can have a look at it in a minute. Good. I hate it. Waifu bait makes me cringe. I mean, fair enough. Each to their own. Waifu bait is peak take my money. The rush meta is pretty healthy at the moment, but my rogue deck is every bad, so Galaxy. It's one of those things where some people will have different perceptions of the rush meta depending on how they play, right? If you're playing one of the stronger decks, you're always going to think the meta is better. If you are playing on ladder, your opinion to tournament players is always going to vastly, like, differ. So, like, I don't think everyone's always going to be happy and always on the same page, which is kind of like, ugh. But it is what it is, right? I wouldn't say it's healthy because it's not varied ranked-wise. Cyber Dragon's infesting ranked. The problem there, though, is that is always going to be the case. Before Cyber Dragon came out, there were tons of Magnum Overlord. Before Magnum Overlord, or maybe after, it depends how you look at it, there were just 1,000 Blue Eyes players. Like, there's always the deck that is populating ranked. That's just how it goes. Like right now, obviously in speed, it's heroes, right? But there's always the deck that is just everywhere. The bigger, well, it's not really a bigger issue, but the thing that Rush has specifically is the power levels of decks can greatly vary. Whereas I feel like in speed, you can play a rogue deck, catch someone off guard, or maybe your rogue deck can do something very hyper-specific that can like do something weird to like play around what the best decks are doing. Whereas in Rush, if your deck's just weaker, a lot of the time you're just weaker. There's not really a ton you can do to play around stuff. I want them to release the rest of the Vault Condor support. Again, that would be very strong. I think they could release a lot of it and not all of it. And it could be decently strong without being immediately tier 1, which I think would probably be fine. I get the idea behind that, but it's discard 1 to flip. Worth it? Maybe. I mean, kind of. It's basically... It is effectively playing a body that has stop defense built in. That's kind of it, right? Flap is the better one because of the Flip-Flap brothers. Well, yeah, of course. I was talking about Sky Strikers, not the Kawaii Tachi. Literally, all I face is Sidra. It's so boring. I mean, I can understand that, Serena. I do not think playing against the same deck constantly is very fun. I think it is... The almost peak trading card game is variety. I want to play against a different deck every single time I queue up. For me, that is perfection. Because then there'll be some decks I'll go against. I'm like, oh, I have a really bad matchup into that. Oh, that's not great. Play another one. Oh, this one I'm actually really good into. And you get lots of interesting games, right? But unfortunately, that's just not always how it works out. Flap Dragon is like a low-level Torna with a potential +1. Yes. Well, it's not really a +1, right? It's like it pays for itself in the same way like Torna is a -1. If you just didn't have to discard, it would just not be a -1. It still wouldn't be a plus, right? It depends how you look at it. It's semantics. It's literally semantics. Looking forward to your take on Secret Order version Tomato. I mean, it's going to be very bare bones. It's pretty much what you're going to be expecting, I would think. It's low-level Torna. It's a body. It's just better Torna or stop defense. Still not sure how worth it is. Idea, what if the Red Boot skill allowed you to add/discard Volcano Attack Dragon for Secret Order usage? I don't think it would do that, but because of Flip and Flap, you can just discard it into the graveyard if you do naturally draw it. You have to naturally draw it first, but you still can just get it into the graveyard very easily. Tomato, how do you feel about the alt styles for characters? They should really sell alt styles. It will make money. Well, in the same way they're not selling Chronicles, I think they might not sell alt styles, at least not yet. I think they might do eventually. I don't know, will they? Chronicles sort of feel like you have to earn them. It's like you get drip fed them, but then if you have a lot of them, it's like, oh, that guy's got red and blue text. He did really, really well in like a Casey Cup. And it's like, that's cool. I like that. But at the same time, the only alt style we're getting is from an event. We don't have to like earn it. You just have to take part, right? So maybe for them, they won't be as strict with getting the cool ones. But what they could do is make the really, really good ones. Again, like you have to like get top 10 in a like Casey Cup or something for. Which would be, I mean, that'd be frustrating. I know a lot of players are already frustrated. They can't get the red and blue text because they're not super highly competitive players, but they really want the bling. It's difficult to predict how they're going to do it. But we'll have to wait and see. I know I have 2-star replacers, but I kind of don't want to use it with 7 shifts. So I don't think you need 7 shift in specifically the red boot list, just because the skill pluses you. And you can unbrick your hand using Flip-Flap, which also you can use the skill to get. So, like, I don't think it's necessary in there. I have seen a lot of people cutting it as well from the Dragon Fusion list. We'll have to see what actually ends up being the strongest version, but for now, I think you can kind of do with or without. For tournaments, Fave decks are Psychic and Dragon Star F, both of which see a lot, or set a lot of low attack to avoid large piercing damage. Yes, because you have to. You kind of have to. They can give some alt styles away for free, but make premium styles paywalled. And potentially, I don't want to play the 4 Demon Kings of Duel Links meta at the moment. Psychics, Dragons, Dark Galaxy, and Metarion. I mean, that's absolutely fair enough. No more paywalled content, thank you. I mean, there has to be paywalled content somewhere. The trick is making it all cosmetic, because people that really want the cosmetics will still pay for it. Whereas people that just want to play the game for free can still play the game for free. But the question is, are there going to be enough people that want the cosmetics? Are the cosmetics going to be expensive enough? Because if you think about it like this, right? Realistically, what's going to happen is they'll make them a price point that will try and get the maximum amount of it sold, the most money possible. What we would like as the player base, or as like people that want to play the game for free, I suppose, is basically like the cards get cheaper because they're getting more money from the skins, but that's not how that would actually work. Realistically, they would just get more money, keep everything else the same as long as nothing needs to change, and they'll just make bank, right? But paywalled Akiza riding duel outfit. Potentially. I mean, you'd pay for that, right? Like, how much would you pay for that? Like $5? $10? We're going to use dollars because I think most people are probably American. 10 euros? I think euros and dollars are actually quite similar at the moment. Sorry, I meant a +1 compared to Torna, so yeah, it has a chance to get even. Yeah. I'm doing that exactly. I'm either Insects, Harpies, or Rebels. Mostly Rebels, because Regeki Burn is funny and satisfying. 5Ds, players riding motorcycle, I'm down. They can, of course, release old ones for free. I mean, definitely they could do. I've sent you my updated list, but got to test more. Let's check out this list that Manicus has sent me. Alright, anything big? Okay, we've changed the ratios on those. Okay. I mean, again, there's very few changes. There's not really what to say about it, but it does look good. I was talking about Dragius, 7 shift for Dragius. Yeah, I assumed you were, but we were kind of deep into the Red Boot chat, so I want to make sure. Is that Gunkin Sue ship Shari? 1 million Mimi costume, please. Oh, could you imagine? Zuijo in butler suit when? Ooh. The thing is, so I know a lot of people in chat are Vanguard 0 players, like back in the day. In that game, they did so many interesting skins for different characters, because basically the way it worked in Vanguard 0 is you had decks, and your deck was assigned to a clan, and then that clan could have different duelists represent that clan. And that's kind of how they did skins. So like you could have, you know, these 3 different players, but then maybe this player had an alternate skin to like differentiate them, and I was like, really good how they did it, and I really liked it. And it's such a shame that game is gone, because it actually did quite a lot really well. I need 6k. Hello, Gelato Gaga. Welcome. No thank you. I'm already tired of people liking Akiza for the fan service, but not her lovely complex personality. I mean, that's fair. Can you imagine if they sold a Ski Striker Ray skin? Not that I'm interested. Okay, RPG Prince, whatever we say. Sherry be like, Vanguard 0 players. Player here, we had swimsuit skins. We don't... Alright. I don't think we necessarily need, like, swimsuit, like, super fan servicey skins. I would just like skins that is, like, other outfits that characters have worn during the anime, right? That's what I personally would like. Konami, make them happen. Alright. Now that you're caught up a little bit, let's go and take a gander at some of the new stuff, right? I'm joking, I'm not into that. It's okay if you are, Prince. It's okay. This is a safe space. I hope we don't get overly fan servicey stuff. I think... So obviously fan service is like dual meaning, right? Fan service just means it's there to service the fans. A lot of people have kind of reinterpreted this as meaning like ecchi or lewd, right? But that's not really what fan service actually is. But when we're talking about fan service in this context, that's kind of what we're meaning, right? So I think everyone's on the same page where they're like, I just kind of want alternate skins of my characters wearing cool shit, which is, again, technically fan service. We're getting very nitpicky. It's, again, very semantical here, which is not important, but I thought I'd mention it just to be sure. I hope we don't worry, I'm not into creepy stuff. I mean, stuff from the anime, sure, it's all speed stuff, so I'm not super hyper about the speed leaks. I mean, there is one rush leak, Draco. There is one rush leak. Rush Rivals news. I hate fan service. Rush Rivals news. It takes away from the anime. Rush Rivals. Everyone's just Rush Rivals news. So again, there's not a ton to say, and I haven't really got any like visuals for you. But we have had quite a few, more than I was expecting, people sign up. Now, the regrettable part of this is a lot of people will not be able to play because this is realistically an 8-player maximum thing. Now, one thing I will say is we almost certainly, unless we get like a massive influx of people that all want to play at different times, almost certainly we will be playing Sunday evenings. So if you signed up and you didn't have Sunday evening CET, by the way, so everyone's clear. If you didn't have that as your time frame, you're probably not going to be in. That is kind of the sad news, but also for some of you, that'll be really good news. We should also be having ads in a second, so when that does happen, I will stop yapping about the important things and start yapping about things that don't matter. But, again, if you had Sunday evening, you have a much better chance than if you didn't have Sunday evening. Let's put it that way. And again, Sunday evening CET, so there is that. To me, if you use fan service, it means your anime is uninteresting. Yes and no. I think it's a bit of a weird one because there is a disconnect between Western and Eastern audiences. I think Eastern audiences a lot of the time expect it. They look forward to it and it's more socially acceptable. Western audiences, it is less socially acceptable and we kind of think it's a bit cringe. So like, some people will just put it into good shows, not realizing that it hurts it or hurts the impression of it from a Western audience. So like, I get what you're saying, because I do agree. But for me, it's awkward to be like, I really like this show. I've been watching it. It's really good. By the way, ignore the fan service. It's like, you never want to have a but in the sentence, right? You never want to, but there is this like really gross stuff that you're not going to want to, you never want to have that conversation. DJ Gavin skin would be so good. Also, I can talk to Shari because I know Shari is subbed. So Shari hasn't got adverts. So I can talk to Shari during this entire ad break. But yeah, DJ Gavin skin would be so good, bro. Oh my god. And Manabu as well, or Maddox, getting the, what's his name? General Study? I think it's General Study. So good for skins. So good. Basically, anything that's not straight up skimpy or lewdy like you say. Otherwise, the idea sounds amazing to me. The game is for or aimed at kids, so I don't think they could get away with doing anything too bad, right? Either way. We'll wait until the 30 seconds is up just to make sure everyone's back from ads before we continue yapping about the actual Rush rivals. But I'm excited for skins. I think there's a lot of potential. It's a bit weird though, because now it's going to be like, at what point does a character become a separate character? Like, we got 3 Jadens, we got like 3 Yugis, right? And at what point do we just do skins for different characters? It's like, where are we going to draw that line? Three, 2, 1. And that should be everyone back from break. So Whistling Bird says, how many people? What total that have signed up? I don't really want to give that away because that might come up later. I've got some ideas, so I don't really want to reveal that number. Because even if people don't get in, I'm still going to message everyone individually and kind of try and sort stuff out. So we'll see what happens there. But it will be only 8 people getting in. Sunday evening CET is my jam. The only problem I have with Sunday evening is it might interfere with Top Cut in the Rush Duel Grand Prix or the Speed Duel Grand Prix as it alternates now. That is the only hesitation I have to doing Sunday evening, but it is without a doubt the most popular time that people have signed up with. So, I mean, it shouldn't clash much anyway. It's only really going to matter if you make like top 8, top 4. But it will probably clash in some way, right? Shui, hello Shui. And we fixed the Shui command, guys. We actually fixed the Shui command. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. What's the point of Jaden U Bell when you make Soul Burner not a separate character as well? What's the point of this burner event? I think it's because they don't want to release too many characters too quickly. They've realized they have a finite amount of characters they want to release, so now they're going to spread them thin. They're going to spread them real thin. And so now they're going to do some events so they just give you a skin instead, basically. Which is not a bad idea. But, if you could, like, give us all the gems that we would have gotten from a new character, that would make us feel a lot better, right? That's all I'm saying. But I did catch some of your stream earlier, Shui. I was very, very busy this morning, so I only managed to lurk. But I did see that you were playing some insects in the old Rush. Recommending Bake Montegatari. Do people be like, I don't know what Bakemonogatari is by that name. Like, if I heard its English name, I might know it. Let me just Google this. Bakemonogatari. Nope. Don't know this. This is not on my radar. I think I've seen this little girl with pigtails in, like, memes before. I think that is the extent of me knowing this show. Now, if that makes me uneducated, so be it. So be it. So, how many people want to be in Rush Rivals? Yeah, we just went over that. There's no ad here. Congratulations, Drags, and always dodging them. Yugi Moto in normal clothes would be cool. Yeah, just little things like that. I think that's the cool shit people want. Or Seto Kaibo. Seto Kaibo. I love that as a name, by the way. I know it's a mistype, but that's so good. Whistle asking the important question. Also, what is Tomato drinking? I am drinking a Starbucks Frappuccino. So this is a chilled coffee with caramel in it. If that interests you at all, I suppose. Mr. President, the ad did not drop. Well, that's exciting. I already showed the replay to Brian, but I wanted to show you. Hopefully it inspires people to cook more. Like I said, definitely don't go anywhere, RPG Prince. And when we do get into Duel Links, when we're actually done with the yapping bit, we will be going over. We'll definitely have a look at that. Skins are just a precursor to letting us play with Swirly, could you imagine? Hopefully. Wait, so is this a new character with gems or those skills transformations? It is neither. It is the ability to swap between what your character looks like. And in-game, they have said that the only real change is going to be if a mission says that you have to use that character, you can use that character with any skin. But some missions will now say you need to use that skin to complete the mission. So, like, it's a weird distinction, but that's kind of how they're doing it. She the #1 witchcrafter spammer in Duel Links. My sisters love Ice Makihito. You should try it. I have had an Ice Makihito before. I'm not opposed to it, but I do like the caramel personally. What's funny? Salads are still trash because they still nerfed and has no rage. Rage is always a bit of a weird one. Rage is like such a strong card, right? So like it's gonna be a weird one to like. You have to know when to drop it, I suppose. Because, like, Rage could... And, like, would it come out, like, Limit 1? I don't know. It's a weird one. So, yeah, we've got Rebirth of Flame. We've kind of gone over all this, but now we know the rarities. So, like, General Kaiser being UR. Okay, that's fine. Urgent Schedule. A lot of Earth Machine players are going to be very sad this is a UR, but, like, it is what it is. And Pyro Phoenix. So, this is a mini-box, which means all of these are Limit 1... there will only be one of all of these cards in anyway. So, a UR and an SR, there isn't really a difference, right? They're all singletons. So, like, unless there's something you don't want, like I know a lot of people probably don't want the Christian stuff, you'll still want to finish the whole box before you reset it anyway. Now, this is a precursor to getting more stage missions then. Potentially. Potentially. We don't actually know, right? Tomato, some salad players want Raw to be free. Do you agree? It can recycle, does it matter? It depends, right? Because it's like... there are ways to deal with it. Like, if it gets, like, Ghost Cyclone. Not Ghost Cyclone. That's the wrong game. If it gets Cosmic Cyclone, right? It's then just gone. So it's like, would you play 2 just in case of that? Is that too niche to even bother? Again, I don't know what a salad list looks like in Duel Links. I haven't played salads in Duel Links, right? So I've played it primarily limited, and I have seen it used. What was the MBT, like, rotation format? I played it a little bit in that as well. That is basically my salad experience, right? Raw should be free 100%. Enough time has passed. Tomato, I fixed my Great Warrior deck. Oh, okay, okay. What did you do to fix it then, out of curiosity, Hikari? It's not really as broken as it was back then. I just remember, again, my primary exposure to Rage was the MBT rotation format, and in that, it was so good it had to be banned, right? So, like, I know it's not the same thing, but Duel Links is sort of a limited format, right? It is different. The card pool is limited compared to, like, TCG, right? So it's like, I made it tier 0 trust. I have my doubts, Hikari. I have my doubts about that. But this box is cool. I don't remember if we knew we were getting these Christians. They kind of caught me by surprise, but I could have just forgotten about them because I don't have much history with them. So, like, who knows? Hello, Mr. Tomato. Hello, Sakadetsu. Welcome on in. Now, so then we got the event, and then we have the alt style. Alt style is an alternative appearance with its own unique skills and attributes. I didn't know it had unique skills. Okay, that's interesting. What does the attributes mean? What is a unique attribute for a character? What does that mean? Hope you all have a great day. I hope you have a great day, Sakadetsu. I will prove you wrong. Crystons are still trash. It needs its OCG support. I think a lot of decks are probably in the same boat, really. Hey, look, Rush card. Rush card spotted. Rush card. Yeah, I didn't realize they were getting their own unique skills. I don't know what attributes means. I do not know what that means, but it'll be interesting to see what does happen. The rest of this doesn't really matter. It's just we're getting alt styles. This has now opened the door to skins, right? That's the interesting part about this. Then we have our leaks. We're getting an alt art of Alistair. I think the other art looks better. I don't know if I'm alone in thinking that, but I think this looks a bit whatever. Boral Sword Dragon alt art. Again, I think the current art we have looks better. I'm not a fan of this alt art personally. Then we have this Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Juggernaut Libe, which is, this is the one we already have, right? And again, I think the other art looks better. So, like, I'm sorry. I don't like any of these alt arts, like, at all. I'm just not a fan. And then we get Salamangreat Heat Leo, and 4 for 4, I don't like this alt art. Usually, I'm all on board the alt art train. I don't think any of these improve over the original, which is very disappointing. But it's an opinion. I don't know. Does anyone in chat, do you prefer these ones? Do you prefer the old ones? I assume you're probably going to be a little bit of half and half. But anniversary box. It's a little bit weird that it's taken us this long to get the anniversary box. I would have liked to have thought you would have just done it. I suppose it doesn't really matter because you want the anniversary box to come out during the actual anniversary. I don't actually know when Duel Links came out. So this could be the actual anniversary date, right? Which would make sense, right? Old ones are all better. Okay, that's fair enough. Alt Leo is good. I don't like this. Let's get a, like, look at this. Look. I don't know. I think the colors are too bright on this compared to this. I think like the shading and the coloring looks better on this. I also prefer the pose on the original. I think the background also works really well to complement the like the orange and the red by having like the darker background. Whereas in this, like, it's still got the same background, but it's more muted because there's more of this like pinkish, purplish around it, blocking the dark purple in the back. If it was an alt waifu, I'd have considered. I like the alt art more. So, I mean, that's entirely fair. I'm just letting you know why I don't like it. I think, again, don't let my opinion like change yours at all. I'm just explaining it. It's cool to use both of them for the reincarnation link summon. Yeah, I do think that is cool. And the fact he's basically kind of got his own pseudo effect. So we got Telephon, we got Dempsey. Dempsey is a UR. Okay, that's interesting. And then we have our one rush card. Kappa Emperor River Slider. So send one face-up Aqua-type monster from your field to the graveyard. That's already quite steep. We have to summon it. We can't even just have it in hand. So if we're bricked on big monsters, big Aquas, we can't send one. We have to send it face-up. Destroy face-up. Destroy up to 2 face-up level 7 or lower normal monster opponent's field. Again, has to be level 7, not level 8 or lower. That's already kind of a negative. Now, there aren't actually that many level 8 normals, but it could come up, and it does get a little bit annoying. His stats are fine, though. 1500 defense, 2500 attack. 1500 defense is actually a really annoying number, because it's just enough to get popped by Harvey without being enough to survive most attacks. So, like, it's actually, like, a really bad defense stat, but the attack stat's good. Never heard of a character spam his archetype name more than Soulburner, basically. Kappa Man, exactly. It's too late now. I'm disgusted by all of the alt art. Well, Salamangreat Leo, Gazelle, Salamangreat Foxy. Fun fact, in the Magistus manga, where the alt art of Invocation is Omega Summon form of Magistus Crowley, which is very nice lore. I didn't know what any of that means. I didn't know there was a Magistus manga, not gonna lie. I think there's a Sky Striker manga. I knew about that. I didn't know there was a Magistus one. Gets popped by Harvey. Gets bashed by Rhynex / Pale Rider. Yeah, yeah. I like the art, but the ability pop is meh. There are some better... What's going on with these? There we go. There are some better Kappa cards, but, like, it's hard to know how to release them, right? Because you don't want them to come out and be, like, too good, but at the same time, like, this is going to do nothing. So this is like send a Kappa, Emperor, River Slider, Infernal Kappa, Do It, or Kappa Gas from your hand to the graveyard, destroy one card on the opponent's field. Now, is this too good, right? Because this is just almost unconditionally pop a card. Face up, face down, maximum, fusion, back row, monster, just pop anything. That's really good, right? And then if you have 3 or more Aqua Monsters in your graveyard, which would be very easy, draw a card. So this is get rid of a card, draw a card, so we're filtering, and we're getting a pop on anything. So, like, arguably, this is too good to come out right now. So, like, it's hard to be like, oh, we're going to get out some Kappa stuff. And it's like, oh, yeah, but the only card really worth giving us is arguably too strong for the current meta, right? It's like, it's so awkward. And I think, again, we talked about Volt Condor earlier. Volt Condor is a similar spot where there is some Volt Condor stuff you could give us, and it would be fine. But, like, if they gave us Volt Eagle... Like, if you have a face-up level 7 or higher light attribute wing beast monster, so a Volt Condor or another Volt Eagle, or there's another one as well, you can special summon this card from your hand. So a free special summon of a 2500 body is already pretty good. Now, we do already kind of have that with Dark Sword, but its requirement is a little bit more specific. You need to rely on your opponent's board, so it's not as useful. But if you have Lightning Volt Condor face up on your field, send top card of it to the graveyard, we can attack twice. And this isn't twice on monsters, this is just attack twice. So, like, this card specifically, probably too strong. A lot of the other Volt Condor support is probably fine. Maybe not Egg, but, like, a lot of the other stuff is probably fine. It's good, not too good. Volt stuff would be too strong if it got released. But again, I think we can't do... You couldn't do Eagle. I don't think you could do Egg. But I think you could do the other stuff. Can we do... Can I, like, see them? Yeah, I don't think we could do Spark Volt Egg. I don't think that could come out. I do, though, think we could give out Volt Kite. I think Volt Kite would be fine. So, again, it's a free special summon, but it's only a 2300 body. And if you have 10 more cards in your deck and you have Lightning Volt Condor out, you get a draw. Like, I think that'd be fine, right? We're overdue a structure, Condor structure for Anniversary. I mean, potentially. But I've been saying that we could have had a lot of these cards for a long time. I think since Dark Sword Magician came out, I was like, well, Volt Kite could come out. This should be fine. Like, it's still good because it's a free +1. But, like... It's 200 attack less than a card we already have that does basically the same thing. So, like, it's still better, I think, because of the extra draw, because plussing is really, really good. But, like I said, we already have Dark Sword, which we'll just go grab him quick. Just so you can, like, see the comparison. If it will load. Come on. There we go. Dark Sword Magician. Which is, again, can just special summon itself. Its bonus effect doesn't really matter, it never comes up, but it's basically a 2500 guy that can just summon itself, which is pretty good. But that's kind of the gist of that. I don't think we need to go over the skills, we've already looked at them. We got some cool mats. This mat, not gonna lie, this goes kind of hard. Notice how there is no Duel Links logo. It's clean, it's a nice color, it just looks good. I think this is just a good mat. I would be quite happy to have this mat. Similar for the thingy as well. Again, nothing really to say about that, but I just thought we'd mention it. So now we're going to talk about the only new OCG cards, because this is the only update we've had since the last stream, so we will take a look quick. This is Voidvelg Forbidden Requiem. So made using Voidvelg Requiem and Voidvelg Pale Rider, we can contact fusion this card. Send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. This card gains 900 attack until the end of this turn. Then you can choose cards on your opponent's field up to the number of Dark Galaxy monsters with 1600 or more attack sent to your graveyard for this effect's requirement and destroy them. This is really good. Like, this is just really good. So again, Requiem and Pale Rider should be in basically every Dark Galaxy deck that you make. It's a contact fusion that's level 9, which is really good, because a lot of contact fusions are only level 8, except basically Zuijo's, because Zuijo just gets to cheat because he's Zuijo, and he just has the ability to just edge. I'm going to rephrase that. He has the ability to be edgy enough that he gets to basically cheat and just have level 9 contacts. But gaining 900 attack is good, 3900. Then you can choose cards your opponent's field with number of Dark Galaxy monsters 600 more attack sent to the graveyard. Now, this should be at least 1, but could be always up to 3. Like, theoretically, you can influence the top of your deck in some ways. And you're going to be playing a lot of high attack monsters in this deck anyway, so like this should be doable, right? Very, very strong card. 3900 Contact Fusion that can pop up to 3. Yeah, it's just in general really, really good. Then we have Universe Stellar. Very weak stats. Shuffle 3 Dark Galaxy monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Send this card on the field to the graveyard, then choose a spell trap on your opponent's field, destroy it. So that's already good. It has recycling, which can be good. It also turns itself into back row hate. And then you can choose a Universal Storm, which is another back row hate, in your graveyard and add it to your hand. This is actually kind of nutty. Now, this isn't always going to be amazing, but it's still, at the very least, shuffle 3 cards from your graveyard back into your deck, pop a back row, which is really good. The major concern with this is there are a lot of cards right now that do protect your cards from being destroyed, which is why we've seen things like Overrush Storm see a lot more play, because it doesn't destroy. So it gets around it, right? It can be 0, yes, but as Tomato said, you're likely to hit one. You're running minimally 12 1600 plus guys, yeah, basically. But then again, if we do start playing these new cards, again, these are all also quite weak. So next up we have Heteroi. Okay, that's her name. 1300 defense. During the turn this card was normal summoned, if you control another face-up galaxy monster, change this attack position card to defense position. This card gains 1300 defense to the end of your opponent's next turn. I'm not a fan of this. This is basically just walling up. I think it's kind of mid. I mean, it could be, like, playable. Like, if your opponent bricks, for the most part. But, like, not a fan. Then we get the Forbidden Requiem, this one we just read. Then we have Void Dust Fusion. Shuffle 1 Dark Galaxy normal monster from your graveyard into the deck. Fusion summon a level 9 Galaxy monster with 2000 or more defense. I don't know what that limits this to. It might just be all of them except the Dark Matter ones. By shuffling 2 Dark Galaxy monsters from your graveyard into the deck, but for the rest of this turn, monsters cannot attack except the monster you special summoned with the effect. So it's basically Miracle Fusion for Dark Galaxy with a heavy restriction on it. I don't like the your guys can't attack, but I do understand why it's there because this is very good. Wait, can't I do Duel Link skills now with duels? Void Dust Fusion is alright. Fusion from Graveyard is strong. Yeah, I just feel like we have like 4 of these already, and none of them have the attack restriction, which makes it feel worse than them. Then we have Requiem Strike Back. If your life points are at least 2500 or less than your opponent's, when your opponent's monster declares an attack targeting your specifically Requiem. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Negate the attack, then burn your opponent. So this is Magic Cylinder. If you're low on life and you have exactly Requiem. I don't think this is going to be very good. I don't think... So people might play this as like a gimmick to try and like steal games, but I don't think it's actually going to be good. It's very specific. Wait, Manabu? What's up? What is it, boy? What is it, Draco? What's going on? Have you found new information for me? I'm going back to the leaks. He said words, and now I'm interested. I'm not seeing anything. Well, I mean, that's kind of it for that. The only other things to mention is we do have the EDO Rush Weekly number 2 hosted by Monosync. That is going to be on tomorrow. It's tomorrow evening. So if anyone wants to play Rush OCG tournament, there is the link. And we also have the Galaxy Rush number 3, which is going to be on Saturday if anyone wants to play in that. Obviously, Hikari is the tournament host for this one. So if you want to play OCG, we got the EDO Rush Duel. If you want to play the Duel Links Rush, then we've got the Galaxy Rush number 2. Realistically, Rush players are eating good right now. And I think that's kind of it. Sorry, no Manabu release. I'll enter the EDO Pro Tourney with Harpies, I think. Ooh. I'm still debating what I'm going to use. So I have a couple of different decks I've been testing. I've tested out Gaia. I've tested out Ancient Gear. I've been testing out Royal Rebels. I've been testing just a handful of different decks, right? I've just been playing a ton of stuff just to try and like see what I like. I like all of them is my issue. I really like so many decks in OCG Rush, and so many of them are at least like competitive. They're not all going to be like tier 1, but they're at the very least like you could take this to a tournament and do well with it. So like it's difficult to choose. I think the mistake I made last time was I took Worms having zero practice with that deck. I have never played that build of Worms, specifically using the field spell that lets you fuse from the graveyard. I have never used that card before, so I kind of went in with zero practice on that specific deck. So I should probably play something I've actually practiced a little bit, just so I'm not sat there like spending 3 minutes on each turn like, what's the line again? Because, you know, it turns out if you play the deck a bit, you actually learn the lines, and then you kind of know how to play. It's weird that. Execute all day. Still not a fan of them, I'm afraid. I know I was your opponent, but Red Eyes look cool too. Execute Rebels will be for next week, probably. There's been too many Red Eyes used by others, so I won't use that one. I wouldn't be surprised if, I think Zach keeps playing the Red Eyes, if he just uses that every single time. Zach is very much a dragon duelist. He plays the same deck almost every single tournament, and we love the man for it. Nothing if not consistent. Interesting, you can use a different one next week. I mean, that's generally the plan, right? So is RPG Prince still around? Should we try and get a replay going? If he's not, we will probably just jump into playing some ladder with the insects. So now you can just... that's what I'm doing. I guess for now, we'll... Right, RPG Prince is here. All right, let me... Because I don't know if I have you on my friends list at the moment. The friends list gets updated, like, kind of frequently. Do we have Prince? And is your name Prince on here? Arthas RPG? This is you, right? And I'm going to assume it's a... Is that Icy Gamer I see? I assume you're... Because there aren't going to be that many people with the old RPG in the title. Yeah, okay. Let's jump in. Let's have a look. Alright. So it's Kite versus Jade Newbell. So, RPG Prince is going to be at the top. I am going to assume, yeah, it's Dragonic Contact from the opponent. So it's going to be us dueling against the hero deck that is Plaguing Ladder. We discard and special summon the Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Super Poly. Elemental Hero Stratos gets us into the Liquid Soldier, and I believe our drawing shenanigans are about to begin. So we're going to fuse into Sunrise. Sunrise is going to get us easy access to Miracle Fusion. Liquid Soldier is going to get us the draws and the discard. We're going to go ahead and grab that Miracle Fusion. We are going to activate the Neos Fusion and then create Kluger from the deck. Very kind of annoying card to deal with. Overlay Network. Okay. Melody of Awakening. Blue Eyes Alternative. Okay, so is this like Dragon Pile? Blue Eyes White Dragon in the hand. Special summon the alternative. That will force out a Crackdown to yoink it. We're then going to summon out Safer. Discard, search out Galactic Spiral. Nebula Dragon. I mean, this almost just looks like Tachyon, but like with Blue Eyes in it, which I don't typically see. Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. Overlay Network. Going to bring that back. Super Poly is now used. We will be fusing away the board into Elemental Hero The Shining. So already quite annoying. A lot of interruption has been used here. We go for Levianeer, and we're going to immediately overlay. What are we making here? Is this going to be Tachyon? But Cypher, okay. So we're going to go into what, Blade? Or Cypher Blade? There's full armor and Cypher Blade. Right, here's full armor. Full armor gets the pop, which gives us back our monster. Spiral Dragon, we're going to go for another overlay. Who are we making this time? We are going to be making... Excuse me, who are you? Who is this? Hieratic Sky Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. So once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card on the field, your graveyard and or your banish. Okay, so it has to specifically target, but it can target more than one thing. Quick effect, you can detach one material, negate the activation, and destroy the card. Okay, that's pretty good, but it's limited by it has to specifically be targets. Then we're going to overlay again. I assume this is going to be Cypher Blade. Yep, Cypher Blade comes down. Use its effect to pop. Use the Neos Fusion to protect. Kluger's effect is going to reflect the damage. We will then attack over, and we've completely emptied the board. Our opponent top decks a Neos Fusion, which does give them the Arm Neos. Arm Neos effect is going to get the pop. We're then going to use the skill, send it to graveyard, grab back. Oh, it adds that to hand. Oh, that's annoying, because now you can use Arm Dragon, discard, pop, everything. Cypher Blade's float effect is going to activate, and then we just crash into it. That looked like it was going to be really difficult to deal with, but he kind of just drew the best card to deal with it. And because the skill creates a free card, that was the only reason he was able to do that as well. That is actually insane. And yeah, unfortunately that's where it ends, but still, that was very interesting back and forth. Let's have a look up here. Look up EDO. Yeah, beat him. It's the first one. I threw so hard. Dual room look got updated. Interesting. Hello, Speedy God, by the way. UE heroes with the new broken skill, Dragon Contact. Playing Kluger, I can't. Hello, Beam. Welcome, welcome on in. What is this coughing baby versus nuclear bomb matchup? Also, hi. It was still quite close, considering. We are also apparently in an ad break, so if you haven't got ads, you can, type no ad gang in the chat. I don't know. If you have got ads, you can't hear me anyway, so it doesn't matter. I can't watch this, poor opponent. Hieratic. I'm locked because of Nebula, so I can't make ding. Neos Fusion off the top. I had game, but I threw. You see my game, my misplay. I should banish the light monster, but I banished dark. British gang, was I close? I mean, almost, Manicus. You got. I mean, I suppose close is the word, right? You at least were in the right ballpark, and that in itself is quite an accomplishment sometimes. But whilst we wait for everyone else to come back from the ads, I'm just going to go and take a quick look over at Rush Rivals. I don't think we're going to get many more people sign up for Rush Rivals. I think we've kind of hit the peak. I think most people that wanted to sign up probably have signed up. But we did say we were going to keep it open till Saturday. So we will just keep accepting people signing up until Saturday does roll around. And then we will be finalizing who's going to be in. As we already said, anyone that has chosen Sunday night as a potential option has a high chance of getting in. I have meta decks. I can play heroes if I want. I don't know if I'd want to play the new hero deck, to be honest. It doesn't look fun. In the same way that, like, Blue Eyes doesn't look fun to play, I don't think the new hero deck looks fun. Like, it looks strong, but it doesn't look fun. I think that's the only issue I have with it. 'Cause, again, I like heroes. I think heroes is, like, a cool archetype. I just don't really like Dragonic Contact, the skill, I guess. Alright, let's hop in. Let's hop in and play a game. What are we considering night for us, Tomato? The most popular time slots are 8 to 10 and 10 to 12 for CET. So it will be somewhere in there. Okay, this music is kind of ironic. Oh, yeah. Always. I mean, I love the FF7 remake soundtrack, personally. The hero skill was fun for like 2 seconds, then I got bored of it after winning the majority of my games. True. I mean, do we just set? I don't think I want to use the Pot of Greed now. Because I feel like we're not going to be able to empty our hand if we do. But I'm also a little bit worried it's going to get popped, and then I'm going to feel really silly. But I suppose if it gets popped, and we had cards stuck in our hand, there's not really a difference. My Tier 0 deck couldn't beat a maximum. I don't think this deck can realistically beat maximums that we're playing here today, our little insect deck. But we'll see, we're going to do what we can. We're going to do what we can. But yeah, the FF7 Remake soundtrack is amazing. Yeah. Oh, it's Pot of Greed! Oh damn, I'm actually always free then for once. Let's go. Well, apparently, Manicus, that's when everyone is free. Now, it does mean I will have to get to bed late, but that is a sacrifice that unfortunately we're just going to have to make. Don't hit it! Okay. Don't hit the other one. Right. I mean, I have a Pot of Greed, so I'm actually not feeling too bad about this. Do we even use Pot of Greed? Because it's just going to be summon, summon, tribute to summon, summon, right? The only issue is we'd have to have Polygon left on the field. We don't currently have any back row. I think it's kind of a use it or lose it. Because I don't think we're going to get to keep our Pot of Greed for much longer. We're just hoping we draw a boss monster. Perfect. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and... So unfortunately, Dynastalkers can't pop this, so there's no real reason to worry about that. We've already got 3 insects in the graveyard, so we could use the effect if we want to anyway. Or Polygon Butterflies live, at least. So we'll go 1, 2. There's like no... I suppose the alternative is I could... Because no matter what, I have to end with that. Because we want the double attack. Or is it just double attack on monsters? It's 2 attacks on monsters, so it's actually irrelevant. So we're actually just going to do this. Tribute these to summon. Get out the Flying Kamakiri. Set this. Then we'll just go to battle. We'll swing into this. So double attack, unfortunately, doesn't do anything here. Dynastalkers' effect doesn't do anything because it's too lower level. But we can still get in. We have a boss monster in hand, so as long as we don't draw into another boss monster, which we're only playing 4, so we'd have to draw one of our 2 remaining immediately. This is looking pretty good. What is he doing? We might never know. He's playing Pressure and Dragius. This is something I've seen some people do. I personally am not a big fan of it. I think Pressure and Dragius feels a bit weird. Because in my mind, you use Pressure to get rid of your opponent's stuff so that you can get to their life points, right? It's like, oh, I don't have to worry about having piercing. I don't have to worry about having double attack because I'm just going to wipe all your stuff. But Dragius has like 4 different ways to get to your opponent's life points, so I don't think you need it. It's a weird one. I think it's actually okay in the other version, right? The red boot. I don't think you need it in this deck personally. I still haven't been able to get 1 copy of Dorcas. Oh, that is a shame. We've got all 3 of ours. My boy. I think this, he looks cool. I don't know what it is. I really like insect monsters that are like semi-humanoid. I think they look really sick. Is that a multi-strike dragon Dragius? So he's going to, what, use the skill? Boost its attack up to 27? Wait. He used Dragius Star Nova. And he searched Fusion. So he just has a Fusion face down instead of... I mean, this is a weird hand. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to convert him into a bug, which would have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, assuming he's got nothing, right? We just Ancient Golem and kill him, right? Going under the assumption he's got nothing. So we'll just do that. If he has, like, Trap Hole, I'm going to be so sad. Okay, we're fine. I was like, this is it. This is the Trap Hole moment. Fusion is in graveyard? Yeah, I don't know why he bothered with it. Weird. I got the insects and made them into all prismatics. So we haven't made the Dynastalkers into prismatics. We've made everything. Oh, I haven't made the Kamakari either, to be fair. Like, we've basically made everything prismatic except for the brand new ones. Forever freeze moment. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine? If he forever freeze, there was just, like, nothing we could do there. It would have just been so unbelievably sad. Well, let's see what happens next. Are there more Ancient Gear stuff in Rush? Yes, it is an entire archetype with a bunch of Rush exclusives in it. It's quite a modern archetype, like it's pretty fresh, so I wouldn't expect to see a ton of it come to Duel Links, but I think like we could have got Tyranno. I think that would have been fine. I think there's a lot of cards that we could have just had in Duel Links, but clearly, like, you know, someone's a little bit worried about it because it is a very aggressive deck. The biggest issue it's got is that it doesn't have good ways to get piercing in outside of exactly Golem. we have just had a new card printed that sorts that out, but that card can't come to Duel Links because it is all of your machines get 500 attack and piercing. And that's too good for this current iteration of Duel Links, right? Or of Rush Duel in Duel Links. It's probably negate attack and slime. It's centered around a spell. By the way, I just want to say, our opponents have both opened Pot of Greed today. Like in their first game. Their first turn. I don't necessarily want to go aggressive. But, no, we'll go aggressive. Let's just go aggressive. We'll go Leo. We'll go Leo. We'll go Kamikari. We'll set. We'll go battle. Okay, it is insects. We were kind of expecting insects. The benefit here is that, again, none of our guys have high level, which means he won't be able to pop them with Dynastorcus. He could potentially do, like, a butterfly play, which could get a lot of damage in through this board. But I think taking 3 resources away from him is probably still the play here. He shouldn't have many ways to punish this, like just leaving them all in attack mode. Let's see what he does. It's unfortunate. Dorcas prevents good from attacking that turn. Golem from attacking that turn, yes. I mean, it's not great, right? It's definitely not great. There is, like, some anti-synergy there, but... You know, we just don't have to draw those half of the decks at the same time, right? Intruding Beetle, so we're going to lose our Rampage, which again is fine. I mean, it is annoying because we wouldn't even have to set it up. We would just get a pop. So he's got to have a boss, otherwise why bother doing this? Well, there's 2 bosses in the bin. So Mantis can now just attack over one of them. Puts the Dynastorcus back in. Does reduce that. That's a little bit weird. So that means you could swing over both of these. But I would expect to Tribute Summon. Because we don't want to just leave Silkworm on the field in attack mode. Sets a back row. And then Insect Rampage. Okay, so we're going to just pop the Kamakiri and then get in for like 300 damage. I mean... Well, yeah, I keep forgetting about the boost as well. It's damage. It does suck that he got to use his Rampage, we didn't get to use ours, but he didn't exactly use his in a great way. Effectively, he's just used it to get a bit of extra damage in. Like, the board was getting broken one way or another. Okay, let's see what we draw here. Ancient Gear Golem. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Unfortunately, we found all of our Leos super early. We can get them back into the deck potentially with this, but like also it could just get popped. Back into the deck. Reduce. If our opponent can get their shit together, we can continue the turn. Wait, finding all the Leos is actually really annoying, like finding them this early. Now, yeah, I guess we just swing over this before he can do anything, and then we'll attack over this. Right, so he does have something he can use. Is that worth it? Is keeping that alive that important? I guess, like, we pray that we draw... But even then, Silkworm's still online, right? Yeah. So, like, there goes Intruding Beetle, so I can lose the TSA. Which, again, that kind of sucks. I would have liked to keep the TSA, because that gets us our Joint Tech Leos back, but I didn't want to use it on that turn. The issue now is if he has Dynastorcus, we now need to like just top deck into our own Dynastorcus to actually deal with this. It would also be nice if we found our legends, because, well, I mean, we've got a legend on the field, so I can't be too upset with that. But he's already found one of. And for us, we found... I mean, our legend is here, but we've already gone through all of these, which means having it early doesn't really do us much good. And we got our one of popped. So, like, I feel like we're really behind, like, economy-wise. Okay. It's another 800, but we're still fine at the moment. Is he going to have another Mech Mantis? The fact he's stacking this means he must have a way to deal with it, right? This is weird. If we're going... So, what have you got then? You've got to have, like, Talismanic Seal Array or something? Well, why else would you... Oh, because this also... I keep forgetting this gives 200 attack. So the plan is just swing, 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 swing. If you could set no back row, that would be lovely. Now, we also just have Digra. And we get a double Insect Mill. Are we just dead? No, we're not dead, but like... So this can attack into this, but he would lose it. Or he just loses his double attack, because he can only double attack on monsters. Okay, so we get to keep some life points, which is quite good. One card left in hand means he must have, like, Dynus Dorcas in hand. And this hand is garbage, bro. Christ. I mean, we can use this. I mean, I guess we have to, because what else do we do with this? Hey, I mean, we'll take that. Dynus Dorcas is kind of nice here. The issue is, I'm almost certain he has another Dynus Dorcas in hand. Which means he's just going to pop our guy in retaliation. And then we'll probably die on the crackback, but we don't really have another play. So I think we just have to do it. Wait, do we just put these three back? Come on back in, boys! We'll go Kamakari, we'll set, go to back. If we had a trap card, I'd be feeling pretty good here, but we don't, so I don't feel good. So all he needs to do is get 2 normal summons, tribute for the Dynus Dorcas in hand, shuffle some cards back, pop our Dynus Dorcas, swing over this for 1,000. Then he only needs to find 2,100 damage, which is like just 2 normal summons. Okay, he had the Digra, which potentially would have just outed this. Summons out the Atlas Combat Beetle. Okay, okay. Summons out another 1,500 vanilla. If he just has, again, just Dynus Dorcas, and then just 1 normal summon, we're dead. There's nothing we can do if he just has another normal summon in hand. But if he doesn't have a normal summon, we out here living. Oh my, insect power. Oh yeah. Check it out. Debuff, the big combo. Oh, that is so gross to the way to die. I feel like we didn't do anything wrong. I feel like we didn't make any misplays, but we are exactly dead to lethal because of the 200 he got from the Polygon Butterfly. If we had found a trap, we would have been good, because either of our traps would have saved us. Like, literally either of them. I will save the replay. I think it is worth saving that one. Because, like, we still got to play the game. We just didn't draw as well as him. Right, that's basically what it came down to. I never knew you played Brain Dropper right now. What can I say? I play a lot of card games. Also, you never ask. I play mostly for fun, sometimes local tournament. I mean, that's the best way to play, right? I'm going to play Protoss Priest. It's fun. I haven't played Hearthstone in ages. The last time I played Hearthstone was... I want to say when the Old Gods got added, and I played Cthulhu Warriors. I think that was the last time I played. Nope, we've queued into Hikari. We just got Hikari sniping us. Now we all know Hikari sat there waiting for us to queue, and she's like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Sniped. Ugh. I'm going to activate this because I don't trust that it's not going to get popped and we don't have any other way to hide it. Christ, that's a hand. I'm just going to start clicking buttons, you know. We're going to dram off, activate its effects. Okay. Let's leave it at this. Just surrender, don't give her the satisfaction. I mean, I could. You can try again. New mini set is crossover with StarCraft, and it's really fun. I do really like StarCraft. I haven't played it in a long ass time, though. This is always the problem with Pot of Greeding on turn 1, though, is you can get stuck with cards in hand like this, and it's just catastrophic. Like, it's just actually so bad. Behold, my intruding beetles! I also play Magic the Gathering. I used to play Legends of Runeterra. I played Legends of Runeterra when it first came out. I grinded it. I think I went X and O. Like, I actually just beat absolutely everyone I played against, all the way up to, I want to say, like, plat rank. But ranking up in that game, at least at launch, was so tedious. It took so long. You had to win so many games, like a ridiculous number, to get a rank up. So I was just like, I can't be arsed. I'm not that invested. Okay, only 1500 damage here is not bad. Can we get some bosses? I mean, that's bosses. Let's go for a intruding beetle. We'll send this to the bin. I would love to get rid of one of these cards. Let's get rid of this one. I mean, that's not a bad card to hit. I guess here we will summon out the caterpillar. Activate the effect. We'll send this to the bin. I mean, it hasn't really changed a lot, has it? Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon out the golem. Guess we'll also summon out the mech mantis. Activate the effect. What do I want back in the deck? I guess I kind of want this back in the deck. Reduce you. Yes, you're an insect now. Go to battle. Swing. Get in for the 15. Get in for the 12. I would really like to have some back row here, but, you know, if the gods have ordained we don't get any. Plus, again, there is a hammer crush there, so we probably would have had to change our plan there and not popped a random back row. We probably would have just had to go for the hammer crush to protect ourselves. My slime! Like I said, I'm a rogue player at heart, off meta. I typically play... Like, if I'm taking it seriously and, like, trying to actually, like, legend rank, I would play warriors just all the time. My favorite deck was always Paladin. And I have played a lot of Warlock and Rogue, but Warlock and Rogue typically... Oh, Warlock and Rogue. Warlock and Hunter. But Warlock and Hunter are both, like, super, like, glue, go face, swarm, swing, swing. Like, there's not a lot of thought behind it, but they're very fun. I bricked with my tier 0 deck, no? Uh-oh. That's not ideal. I mean, if we could just find an intruding beetles, we might be able to win this turn. That's not how we win. I mean, this hand doesn't really do anything, so I think we just go straight to battle. Boosh. And then negate attack from this one. This one's negate attack. There it is. That's why I wanted the intruding beetle. How can this be? My favorite classes are Rogue, Mage, and Druid. Shaman, it used to be Paladin, but then the class became boring. Yeah, Paladins have always been a weird one, right? Like, we've got things like Secret Paladin, but, like, Secrets have always been a bit boring. Like, Secrets aren't super exciting, at least not for me. But, like, I've always been a Paladin World of Warcraft player, so, like, it just kind of naturally goes one-on-one. Like, I used to play a lot of Shaman in World of Warcraft as well, so, like, by that same merit, I really got on with that. Can you please draw a back row? I have 4 removal. I have back row in my hand, Hikari. I'm not playing it because I know you have removal. I'm not going to play it. If I know you've got the counter to it. I was like, I can just set negate attack. What's the point? That was the battle, not the war. My favourite classes are Rogue, Death Knight, Paladin, and Shaman. I have not played since Death Knight was a thing. I played when it was like the Death Knight theme set came out, when it was like all of the classes get like a Death Knight form. I played during that, but I didn't play... I haven't played Demon Hunter or Death Knight, or Monk, if Monk is out. It's not over. My tier 0 warrior deck. I mean, do we add that? I feel bad, like, deliberately not saving Hikari's replays, but, like, they're not real games. Like, I feel like Hikari didn't play the game, so it doesn't seem worth saving the replay. She will be back for revenge. Now, the real way to get revenge is to make it into Rush Rivals. So, speaking of, by the way, I wanted to talk about this a little bit as well. The way that I'm going to be determining, out of all the people that do qualify for Rush Rivals, so this, the people that are in the right time slot, it will be then based on card pool / just random, right? I don't want to, like, play favorites. I don't want to just, like, pick people that I like, because I like the whole community, right? I'm not going to pick people I like more. So basically, we're going to be randomizing a lot of the people that get in. So if you don't get in, like, I'm sorry, but it's going to be mostly random. So we can turn him into a bug. I mean, we can super turn him into a bug. What do we do? 1, 2, that. I don't even know if this is worth using. The old caterpillar. I don't need it. Right, let's summon this. We'll summon out the Mech Mantis. Oh, we need an insect in our graveyard to use that. Okay, I mean, that's fine. But we won't be able to use it if we do that, so I want to do this first. Let's just make sure we're doing this correctly. Shuffle an insect from your graveyard into the deck. Right, we'll summon this. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Are you kidding? He's got freeze? Bro. Watch. Right, I'm calling it now. This back row here is going to be the Iron Onslaught. He's going to pop my back row. I'm calling it now. Yeah, that's right. You're an insect. Rest in peace. Should back for end. Wrath of the Lich King. It was a great expansion. Oh, so you like me? Oh. You're a cute one, aren't you? Cute as a button. Miss Mutton. That's the only cute one here. Do we still have the Miss Mutton emote on? Yeah, we do. We went through and changed some of our emotes. But we did keep the Miss Mutton one. I need to, like, come up with what we're doing with the other emotes. I mean, do we just use the back row? Because 1, it might just get destroyed if we leave it. And 2, this is a lot of damage. I think we do. I'm not super happy about it, but I think if I get greedy and hold it, he's going to know there's a delay. Alright. We'll summon this. Activate the effect. That might change something. That is actually interesting. Okay, you're an insect. I'd have to give him back freeze or pog. No, but I want the boss. Okay, we use Mech Mantis effects. Put this back, because this actually shuffle 3 monsters. Oh, I might not be able to do that and do everything I want. I'd have to tribute 2, then we would have enough, but I'd have to still give him back a really good back row. Is what I don't want to do. Using this effect means this wouldn't be relevant anyway. Right, we'll tribute these. Summon out this. Activate Deinostorkus. Because it would lock him out of attacking anyway, so I don't think we have to worry about it too much. We'll put this, and this back, I think. We're just going to get rid of this because he's a pain. I don't think we bother with him. The question now becomes, do we play around specific back row? I think we're just going to set these because I don't trust that he's going to have nothing. And I think playing around too much is not going to work. Okay, we're fine. What was that delay? He had a delay after we killed his guy. What delay is there after you kill a monster? Unless it was just like a lag spike or something. Alright, so what we could have done was we could have put the polygon in attack mode. That plays around things like Recital, right? But if he had a legend trap, no matter what we did, we were getting completely screwed. Having Kamikari 2 in attack mode is also quite nice because, again, it does let us play around some stuff. All we have is also really good traps, so he's not going to want to use either of those effects. He's going to use that and pop our Deinostorkus because he's not allowed to pop anything else. Now he's just going to swing over something. I believe he still hasn't got any other spell traps for us to take off of him, which is kind of sad. Oh, that could change everything. Right, we'll go Pot of Greed. That doesn't change as much as we would like, if we're being completely honest. I guess we will summon out the Dramoth Caterpillar. Then we're going to activate the Intruding Beetles. We'll send one of these, get a draw, and we'll pop one of his back row. Let's have a look at what this is. So if I use your effect, I won't be able to attack with Ancient Gear Golem, assuming I get that back. I don't think I care about that very much. Right, let's use Dramoth Caterpillar now. See what we get. That's interesting. Unfortunately, it's a little bit awkward because we now can't use this. Because he doesn't have an insect, we got rid of our way to get an insect. So we'll activate Intruding Beetles. It's 1, 2, 3. So I guess we just have to get rid of Rampage here. We'll get rid of this. That's interesting. Okay. So now we do what? We just tribute both for this. Then I can get that. Give him a spell card back. Get out the Ancient Gear Golem. I mean, having a big board is probably going to be the best option. Let's just go for this. I think this is going to be what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and use Jointic Leo. Activate the effect. Probably give him back this. Grab back this. With the power of hindsight, there's a lot of different things I could have done. But like without knowing what I was going to get, it becomes a bit awkward. If we were always planning to get back the Ancient Gear Golem, then we never needed to change his type. Because we were always planning to attack with a non-insect type. So that, like, contradicted us a little bit there. But if we had known we were going to draw the one of Insect Rampage, that changes everything. But we didn't know we were going to draw that. So, like, eh. Now, AFK a bit. Thanks for stopping by, RPG Prince. Tell me why you add me on Battle. Tell me when you add me on Battle.net. It's one of those things, I kind of want to play the new StarCraft stuff. Because, like, I really like StarCraft. And I really like Hearthstone. And I kind of like World of Warcraft. I like all of the Blizzard stuff. But I don't think I have the time to, like, play through it as well as doing everything else that I'm currently doing. Okay. So we are on Secret Order. What did he search with his Legend draw? Probably an Ancient Gear Golem, right? If he's got Ancient Gear Golem, he just needs to get another body on the board. But if he hasn't got another body, giving them freeze is the right choice. They can't use it proactively like Pog, and we're able to play around it. The thing is, we can play around it in the sense that we can try and get rid of it if we draw one. But at the same time, it could also just absolutely hamstring us, right? If he outed this board, which should be doable with or without this Talismanic Seal Array, then it puts us in a situation where if we find a Jointek Leo, it's dead. It's not going to do anything. If we find a Deinostorkus off the top, again, it's bad. It doesn't do anything. So I would make the argument that actually that would have been a horrible play. I think giving him freeze was objectively the wrong thing to do there. So we have this. We can change into insect. We can get a pop with that. We can get double attack, which is irrelevant. We need 2 insects on the board to do that. So we'll go for you. We can activate your effect to turn them into a bug. We'll go intruding beetles. Do we even need this? We kind of want it, right? That'd be 220. That's only 2,500 damage. This gets us an extra 2. I think we get rid of this. No. No, that swings over that. That's then stuck on the field. Because I have to get rid of this. Summon, summon. Well, if this is getting tributed anyway, there's no point in keeping this. Right. So we'll get rid of this. Activate Dynasdorcus. 1, 2... I don't know what we want. This, maybe? We'll pop this. Summon out Polygon. Send the top card. Increase this attack. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon out a second Dynasdorcus. Summon this. And then that is going to be lethal. And we'll save that replay. That was an okay one. Although I think maybe 2 of these replays were against insects. Alright, that wasn't even insect, that was machine. For some reason, I have now crisscrossed in my mind that insects and machines are now the same deck because I play both. Is that L9 Ray in the chat? How are you doing, my friend? It has been a while. I think you stopped in last time we were streaming, but we barely got a chance to chat. How are you doing, my friend? I hope you're having a great time. Are you excited to watch Rush Rivals, Ray? That's what I want to know. It's Hikari again. She's sniping again. Sniper! Sniper! If my tier 0 Buster Warriors doesn't work, I will snake clown you. Here it is. The sniping. It begins again. Okay, let's see if we get beaten up by Snake Clown. 1. I'm disappointed with the salad support. I mean, I assume you want Rage. I assume that's what you're after. You're like, how about we get 3 copies of Rage? I don't know enough about, like, full power salads to, like, know what, like, the chase cards are. Okay. I mean, if I want to go for the reduction, I can't do that. If I do that, I need that in the graveyard already. I guess we'll go Fibron. And we'll go Mech Mantis. We'll activate this. And we'll change this into a Buggy Bug. I guess we'll just go Intruding Beetles. I don't think I need this in my hand. That hasn't really done anything. We'll use Biomech Mantis. We'll put this back. Reduce. Well, we don't even need to do that, because I'm just going to do this anyway. Tribute 1. Wait a minute. No, that's fine, because it's that one. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. We'll go ahead and use Dynasdorcus, and we'll put 1, 2, 3. We'll put that one back. We'll pop. Then, yeah, sure, we'll just summon out Mech Mantis. We'll try and get some aggression in. Attack! Okay, so there is a live back row. Which means it is either the slime or the negate attack. I don't know why you would use it on the second attack but not the first, whatever it is. I have no idea how insects work. Well, it's a lot of changing you into insects and then doing stuff with that. That is the gist of it. Wait, can you pop that with a strange monster from before? I should have played it in defense. Yeah, like without the traps, your turn 1 board is Pyro Phoenix spell pass. Isn't there the card that lets you like link summon during your opponent's turn? Is that not a thing? Oh boy, guys. Hikari's leaning on the crutch again. Can't do anything without the gun. I heckin' love Ashura Star OTK. Oh, it's so fun. Man, it's so cool. Woo. Well, it is what it is. I mean, how much is this gaining? 37? 65? We're not dead on board, but it's not looking great. There is just 4,000 life points and our boss monster for basically nothing. This doesn't work on level 9 monsters. This doesn't work on level 9 monsters. And we know that there is a back row that we can't do anything about. So, I think we're probably screwed. Our only hope is that the back row is slime. If the back row isn't slime, I think we're just dead to anything. If the back row is slime, or if the back row's a legend, we're just dead, right? If the back row's slime, we can play the game. Not much really beyond that. So I'll go ahead and use this. We'll reduce this attack. Yes, you're a bug now. Then we'll summon out another one. Activate its effect. Put this back. Reduce. Then we'll just tribute both of these. Summon. We'll go 1. We'll go 2. And then if this is negate attack, we are just dead. There's like nothing we can do about it. Then it literally will come down to, do we have 2 ways to pop back row? And then do we win a 50-50? If we have a second way to pop a back row, then we're going to lose both of our back row and we're dead. Because the issue is there's only so many back row that work against this, right? There's literally, what, negate attack, slime won't work, obviously freeze doesn't do anything, what, rice doesn't do anything. How could you transform my Great Warrior into an insect? It's a cyborg. Exactly, it's just a cyborg. I don't have my clown? What, no reactor? Or no snake clown? Because the jesters are clowns, sort of. But snake clown is an actual snake. I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed. I was expecting the new skill with like the snake clown build around, but... Beetle? Is this an insect deck? Yes! We have the Dynast Dorcas the Beetle King as our ace monster. Also, welcome on in, Sandbox. Hello, hello. Okay. We have lost the Insect Rampage, but against Metarion, it's basically a dead card. Where's your Gokibor? We don't actually have Gokibor. Well, we own it, but it's not in this deck. I feel like it's use it or lose it, so we're going to use Negate Attack. Because like it's going to get popped otherwise anyway, so it's like, why not use it? That's annoying. We can crash. That's about the best we can hope for. So we'll summon. Activate Mech Mantis. Put back Mech Mantis. Reduce the attack. And you're an insect. We can't use that because it's level 9. We don't have what we need for you in Graveyard, so we're going to set. We don't have room, so we can't reduce it any further. So we'll go to battle. We'll swing over this. I'll swing into this, I suppose. This should only have 500 defense. Then we'll get in for 14, which is not enough to close out the game. I'm sure our back row will be helpful, guys. Matarian basically only cares about one trap card, and we've already used it, so... And here's the Pot of Greed. In fact, better than Pot of Greed. Barrage of Steel? Joke's on you, my back row was dead. Starry start, so what? Just make a 16. We're technically not dead yet, so we should wait until Lethal is on the board. Like, they need Type Change Beam and another copy of Sword Dancer in hand to us to be dead to this, specifically. So until we see that, we might as well hold. Okay. Again, we're still alive at the moment. We just need to see Type Change Beam and we're dead. Okay. Let's get out of here. I'm not sitting here while Hikari spins plates for 100 years. Alright. Let's try and get a real game in. Alright, 3-4-3. Let's see what 3-4-3 is playing. Udius, which means probably Light Galaxy. And we'll be going second into I never... Light Galaxy is like such a weird deck. I'm not really a big fan of it. Hey, I was going to fuse there. You were taking 100 years, Hikari, to make the simplest play in the world. Like, you could have normal summoned 2 1400s and killed us. This is not ideal. I mean, we kind of have to apply pressure, right? That's how we win this matchup. The only negative is going to be leaving, like, high defense monsters on the field. Or low defense monsters face up on the field. Are you... Come on! I just want to play the game! Why does everyone open freeze? Freeze is so annoying, because we're basically getting collateral, right? We're getting freezed only because people are playing it to play around dragons. So, like, it just sucks so bad when it's like, people wouldn't even be on it if this was last week. But Dynastalkers came out at a really bad time. Tomato, usually the game needs more trap cards. The thing is, traps are fine. The problem is when it's a trap card that, like, basically you have to invest 3 cards into it, and a card that just gets rid of it is a problem, right? There is a difference. I think the problem is people keep, like, misunderstanding. So I had a conversation before with Xyz, and basically when I said I wanted more back row, he intuited that as meaning I want, like, Mirror Force. I want everyone to have Mirror Force. When that's not the same thing, right? What I want is more ways to interact with your opponent. That doesn't have to mean immediately get rid of their boss, right? So flipping stuff face down, changing stuff to defense, changing attack and defense values. These are all very valid ways that we can interact with our opponent without just straight up getting rid of all of their shit, right? Freeze being everywhere got to be showing Konami how much we don't like Dragios OTK. I mean, basically. I have to go now, but thanks to the games and the company, guys. See you in Quantum Rush, if Quantum does rush. Thanks for stopping by, Hikari. So this is probably going to be our first Sidra opponent, right? We, by the way, haven't used our skill once. Do we have our skill on? No, we do have it on. It just hasn't come up at all yet. Alright, we'll go ahead and set 5 past the turn. Let's see what our opponent's got for us. Wasn't expecting Blue Eyes Rain. Have we travelled back in time? Is that what's going on here? Kyberman, Blue Eyes Bright. Okay. What skill? We're playing Legend Draw. Because there isn't really a good skill for this deck, and Legend Draw at least turns on all of the Jointic Leos. I mean, I don't see a point in using that. Okay, 2500 dude. I mean, we could change it into a bug. That's already pretty good. Right, we'll flip this up. I guess I'll start by activating the effect. That's a good draw. Okay, we'll summon, activate the effect. You are now bug. The issue is, I suppose it doesn't really matter. There's no point in using that. We could use this. We'd have to get rid of... I don't think we need it, right? Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon this. We'll summon this. We'll do this. We'll put you back. You and you, probably. Oh, it's only 2. Okay, we'll put these 2 back. Get rid of this. Set. Go to battle. And now this threatens lethal. But he has a back we could use. So, I mean, we could have tried the 50-50. He's on exactly 3,000 as well. But, like, if we'd lost the 50-50, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. This way we still get 3 cards. We also would have either had to give up the Flying Kamakuri or given up the Forever Freeze, which is something we don't really want to do. Can only put 6 cards that Infernoble uses at limit 1. I'm done with speed duels. What a joke format. I mean, I think that's fair enough. It's a weird one for me because I think, I've never liked Gravity X Grawl. I've always thought Gravity X Grawl was like super lame. So like, I don't care about that going. But I do get, you don't want a deck that is already not performing super well to get a big nerf slapped on it. But, you know, also did get some more support, so there is that angle to look at. Ugh. Power Tool, Braver, Reinforcement of the Army, and Herald all limited to 1. Yeah, I think the major thing is why are they making it super fair when, like, the hero deck exists, right? When the hero deck gets to do everything it wants, basically, for free, it feels really, like, weird to be like, oh, but that other deck, we're not allowed that. No. Alright, if we can pop that before we go to combat, we just auto-win, which we can do. So, I'm pretty sure there's nothing he can have to stop this. So we'll do this. What does he have? Has he not used freeze yet? But if he uses freeze, he's dead anyway. Why are you freezing? You're just dead. There was a chance I couldn't turn him into an insect. But he chose the only way that guaranteed death. I mean, we'll save the replay. That was so weird. That's so weird. Like he could have just been a little bit tilted or whatever, right? That's fine. It just feels wrong. I'm like, there was a world in which you won and you chose death. But I guess it is what it is. I think every opponent we've played today, by the way, has been on freeze. I think Hikari might be the only person that hasn't frozen us? Freezed us? I think frozen us sounds right. Frozen us? Freezed us? But I'm actually struggling with the English language right now. Which is not a new thing, but like, I would rather not be. We get to go first. I think we're going to just set everything. I don't really want to get Dynus Dorcas out, even though it means getting a brick out of the hand. I would rather have 2 monsters on the field. Because Hikari bricked, that's why. I mean, Hikari bricked one of the games, definitely didn't brick the other one. Sets 3 monsters, sets a back row, passes the turn. Okay. We still don't know what they're actually on. No extra deck. This could be just insects. It's an awkward situation because if we... In the insect matchup, you don't really want to be the first one to go all in. I think either way we have to set something. If we could find Ancient Gear Golem, that doesn't actually solve our problem. It's just... Well, let's do this. We'll go Dramoth Caterpillar. We'll activate the effect, and we'll get rid of Butterfly. Let's see what we find. That's changed literally nothing. Okay, I guess we'll go for another one. We'll activate the effect. I think we're going to send the other Dramoth here. Again, that also changed nothing. We'll flip this up. If we have the read that he's on insects, tributing out Dynus Dorcas is bad. So we're just going to go battle, and we'll see what he's got. Okay. So us having monsters face up is bad, because it means that all of his effects turn on. Dynus Dorcas itself can't pop our guys, so we don't have to worry about that. He can use his one-of to pop our guys. Intruding Beetles is like a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. If he snipes the right back row... Okay, that was still a good card. Unfortunately, both the back row we have are really good for this matchup. Because this is like just a free pop on a monster, right? And now he gets our legend as well for free. So he's already gotten very lucky here. We're in a very bad spot. Because like, we got lucky to find those cards. But it's not lucky if your opponent just gets to do whatever they want and deal with it like wholeheartedly regardless, right? Grabs back the Combat Beetle. Summons out the Fibron, whose effect is not currently live, because he does not have another face-up insect. We're going to summon out the Dynus Dorcas. Again, not that it matters, all our guys are insects anyway. Dynus Dorcas, though, is not live. That is one thing to take note of. Mech Mantis effect also is completely irrelevant. But this is what we mean. We had to keep the Dynus Dorcas in hand, because now we get to free pop his Dynus Dorcas. He didn't get to free pop our Dynus Dorcas. The downside is we only get one draw and all of our back row has been ravaged, which is really not a good thing. They also nerfed the Gemini skill. It doesn't always search a Fire Warrior. You only get to search if you revealed the trap in your hand. Oh, that kind of sucks. I knew they had hated Infernoble the moment I saw Roland limited to 1. I mean, I think a lot of decks have that kind of annoyance where they've slapped limits on them. Alright, let's start with Dramoth. I don't think we're going to need Fibron unit. That's not really what we were after. I guess it could have been worse. Not by much, though. If we're going to pop this, we might as well normal summon the Mech Mantis, activate Mech Mantis effect, and we will put Butterfly back. We will reduce you. We'll set. We'll go ahead and tribute both of these out, I think. Summon this. Activate Dynus Dorcas. We will probably just all 3 of these back. We'll go ahead and summon out the Polygon. Activate Polygon. Ah, goodbye, Pot of Greed. That makes me sad. We'll set this. Go to battle. Swing over this. Swing over this. Get in for 12. Get in for 4. Okay, this looks like we're not in a terrible spot right now. The downside is he could just do this back. If he just draws another Dynus Dorcas and a Butterfly, we could be in a really bad spot. Because we actually have an extra face-up monster and we have 1,500 less life points, which means we could just die to that. Now, the downside is there wasn't really a way to play around that. Like, we could have, like, set Polygon, but then we don't clear the whole... Well, arguably, we do clear the whole board, but we don't get any damage in. We need to, like, progress the game state, right? Family limits cards. They dislike facing certain archetypes. I assume Konami also plays their game. I don't think they hate Infernoble. It's a weird one. Sometimes it feels like they don't. Like, I think sometimes they, like, clearly do. But I don't think they play it in quite the same way, right? Like, a lot of game devs go out of their way to say they don't play the game in the same way that the players play it. They kind of have to intuit it in a lot of ways. Okay, Dynastorcus gets to pop our Dynastorcus. That is annoying, but this could have been a lot worse. Realistically, this is not the worst timeline. So we still have 2 Dynastorcus and Ancient Gear Golem in the deck. Of course we find none of them. Let's go... I mean, that puts cards back into the deck, which is not really what we want to be doing right now. Your effect isn't going to work. I guess we'll summon out Caterpillar. We will activate Caterpillar. We will send you and draw. That didn't help. Then we'll go Intruding Beetles. We'll send... Because you're 25, so we're not getting over you. Well, there's no point in having you, right? Yes, that's what we were waiting for. Pop this. That doesn't... I mean, it does make a difference, but, like, it's not a huge difference. So now we'll go Mech Mantis. We'll put back Dynastorcus. Reduce the attack. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Summon Mech Mantis. Activate Mech Mantis. We'll put back Mech Mantis. Reduce. And we'll summon out Leo. Go to battle. Swing over this. And we'll try and end the game. Which we will be able to do. Okay. We did manage to take down insects. Now, I think that was like our 3rd insect opponent. So I don't think we need the replay. I really don't think we need that many insect replays, right? Hello, Tomato in chat. I see you have joined the insect invasion. Hello, Alterius. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's a bit awkward. We keep playing against insects constantly. I would like... Because I thought that was a good game. I would like to save the replay, but we've already got so many insect games. I don't need it. Like, I'm actually sat here like, can we play against a Cyber Dragon so I can get a Cyber Dragon replay? I didn't think I'd ever be saying that. But here we are. There's Beetle in the title. I don't see that goat. Diabolic King Beetle. I have been baited. Different Beetle, mate. Different Beetle. 3-4-3. So we already played against this guy earlier. He absolutely smoked us. He killed us on turn 2. No, turn 3. He went first, and then he killed us on his 2nd turn. We actually get to go first this time, though. So that's something. There is never enough insect mirrors. Typically, I would be inclined to agree. However, I am trying to get, like, videos footage, right? So I kind of need specific things to happen, one way or another. Alright, so now, he could potentially do an Pot of Greed turn 1. Against especially this deck that wants to win the game as soon as physically possible is actually insane. We might just be dead on this turn. That is not an impossibility. So that means he already has Secret Order in hand. So we activate that, bring that back. Then he can activate his spell. The only real hope we have is that he flips up our Kamakari. If he does that, we're fine. If he doesn't... Ugh. Go on. That's bad. So we take 15... And he attacks our lowest defense as well. So he gets maximum damage here. He could not have done that any better. And that was entirely RNG. Unless he's watching the stream, which I doubt. I can't use Dynastorcus effect the same turn I attack with Ancient Gear Golem. We've got 1, 2, 3. I don't have any way to plus. I mean, I think the safest thing to do is just make 2 big guys. So we'll go Biomech Mantis. Activate the effect. Then we'll put this back. Reduce. Yeah, you can be an insect. Welcome to being an insect. Hopefully you enjoy it. We'll flip this up. Activate the effects to mill a card, or mill some cards. Hit this. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon this. So, the alternative play we could have done is pop this, weaken this, attack over all of it. But the only thing I'm worried about is having these monsters that have really low like defensive stats, because then he could just use their effects and screw me over. As if we use this as well, we can only attack with insects, so we have to do it this way around. We can't pop because otherwise it locks him off from attacking, and we wanted to guarantee... it's more damage this way, but I suppose that would have also just been safer, because then we just don't attack at all. But this way, the only way we really die is like, what, TSA shenanigans, changing us to defense and attacking over this, while having a massive boost. I found your vid, and I'm doing some education. Okie dokie. You have fun. Okay, we'll go Biomech Mantis. Activate the effect. So now we're at the weird point as well, where we're going to have to just start leaving Wimps in attack mode, but like, otherwise we don't really do anything, so... put this back, and probably this back. Pop. We set. What are we doing with these? I think if I want to be safer, because like this is dead anyway. If he just gets out a guy, changes that guy to like, he's just gonna attack over this and we'll be dead. So I don't think there's a reason to not go for this, because if we do find something like a good trap card, that could actually keep us alive. Now the downside is there are some like Galaxy cards that have really big butts, like that. There's no reason not to attack this, because that now has to clear this. Of course he got both of them. I mean, that's kind of cringe, but there's not really anything else we could have done there. If we had found a nice back row, I'd be feeling a lot better, but our back row is basically useless. He's probably got another back row hate as well. If he tribute out some monster, we're feeling okay. No, he's just going to Galactica Force. Yeah. I think that's just straight lethal, right? There's nothing we can do about it. Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, it basically comes down to we didn't find the trap. I'm thinking maybe we mix up the spell trap lineup just a little bit. I think if we put in... because we don't have slime in here at the moment, right? I think if we do put slime in... let's just get out of this. Okay, we're going... go for some Undertale now. I think we need... we didn't put slime in because we were like, oh, Dragon Fusion. That's just going to mess us up. But we haven't really been playing against Dragon Fusion. We haven't played a single game against them. So as soon as we put this in, we are immediately going to run into nothing but Dragon Fusion. I'm going to call it now. Guess we'll take this out. I don't think we just need, like, all the beaters in the world. Part of me is like, do we need Rice? Like, against exactly like Galaxy, which we played against twice, it's good. But, like, against the majority of the field, it's not going to do too much against. So it's like, it's awkward. It's very awkward. They limit cards to balance the game. They are inconsistent and don't hit other strong strategies like Hero and Predaplant, while Gemini/Infernoble get 6 limited to 1 cards, nerfed skill, and insane restrictions on release. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's not fun. Rush's life. No room for fun. I mean, to each his own. To each his own. I played an insect list this morning using Gaia Kateno Force skill. Nice! I mean, we've already played that deck. We're trying to play this because it's the new Dynastalkers stuff. But Dynastalkers having the level 8 restriction does kind of just make it worse than Gaia Kateno most of the time. Hello, Varley. Welcome, welcome on in. It's a tricky one. We can't really out maximums with this deck, right? So it's like, do we want to put more like Talismanic Seal Array in? But then Talismanic kind of conflicts with Dynastorcus because it needs to shuffle 3 cards back in. I think Dynastorcus is just kind of bad most of the time. I think we just play this list for now and see how it goes. I think realistically, we have to accept this is just going to lose to maximum decks. And it's probably going to lose to a lot of fusion builds. And there's not really much we can do about it. So I think trying to tailor it so that it can beat everything means it's going to end up beating nothing. When it's better to just say, we're trying to build this deck specifically to beat like Dark Galaxy and stuff. I suppose by that logic, we should put in Rice Terror Secure, right? But even that's, like, awkward. Because, like, Rice Terrace is good into, like, both Galaxy decks. And that's primarily what we're probably going to try and be beating. What do we do? Limit what? Oh, of course it conflicts with that. Insect Rampage is really cool, though. Okay, we'll put this back. I'd really like to use Rice in this deck. Because, again, we're basically built it to beat level 8 and lower decks, and primarily that's going to be decks that special summon from hand or graveyard. We've got kind of a somber song going on right now. That's kind of the vibes that's happening. And then Varley comes in with pure chaos. Are those different Fright emotes? Did we play against this guy earlier? I can't remember. This might be the guy we played against who had Dragonic Pressure. Current win streak 4. I don't recognise the mat and sleeve, so maybe it's not. Well, we'll just go Intruding. Don't. We'll keep a Leo in hand. We'll see if it is relevant or not. Let's see what our opponent's got for us. He starts out with Pot of Greed. We have played against turn 1 Pot of Greed, I want to say in about half of our games today. Like, it started off, I think it was like 3 people back to back to back. But it's evened out now, it's about half. Right, he's got a card stuck in hand though, so potentially it hasn't actually done him any good. The downside here is that in order to turn on our card, we do need to have 2 face-up insects, which means this has to be face-up. But we can go Intruding Beetles. We will discard probably just Dramoth. I don't think Dramoth is doing much for us. We'll get rid of one of these. I would really like to find a boss monster. That would be really nice if we could find a boss monster. I mean, that might get us a boss monster. Nope, we still don't have a boss monster. Things are not going well. We have gone 13 cards deep and have not yet found a boss. Right, there's a chance this clears. We're going to give it a go. Boo! Okay. Now, the downside is we're playing against Dragon Fusion, so we are probably just dead. Like, we're probably straight up dead on board. Like, we're not on board. Dead from what he's got in his hand. But, Okay, that's 5,000 damage. You are literally a 200 attack point monster away from winning the game. And you've set 2 cards. Why? I'm very confused. And we still don't have a boss, by the way. We have 15 cards through the deck. Where are the bosses? Okay. Summon. Activate. Still no boss. Did we have a chance to use our skill? We must have had a chance to use our skill. Did we miss it? Like, did it pop up and I just didn't see it? Oh, we have to have no monsters in our field. So because he didn't wipe our field, we don't get to search a boss. Behold. I don't think it matters too much. We have a boss! Oh my god. Again, I don't think it matters, but we're going to keep playing. Dinosaurus, go! We'll go 1, we'll go 2, we'll go probably 3. Get out of here. I will set. If we put any of these in attack, we could die so easily. I think we have to set these. We have to wait until we get like a more impressive board state. Assuming we even live. We have freeze, right? That is for this deck. Everyone is playing this card specifically to deal with this deck. So potentially we have the tech we need to counter this. The issue is he has so many cards in hand that he could just do it anyway. The reason we couldn't leave these face up though is if he just has a 1500 vanilla, we just die and we can't do anything to play around that. So Dragia Star Nova grabs just the dragon. Tributes 2 for Dragius. Well, we have to forever freeze here. Summons out Replacer. I mean, again, we knew he had the potential to summon out another one, but like we didn't have an option, right? If he just has another boss, there was nothing we could do. Okay, he doesn't have another boss by the look of it, but he does have 3 back row. Holy shit, brother. Where are the bosses at? I feel like it's too late into the game for us to not do anything. We have to play, right? We need to, at some point, win this game. Or try. So I think we have to just start committing dudes. And just pray that we find what we need. And we didn't, so I think we're just dead. I think if we don't do this, we are just screwed, because all he needs to do is draw any boss and we're dead, right? So I think we needed to commit to the board to something. The hope was we would find another boss. But we still have 3 of them left in the 9 cards left in our deck. I mean, yeah, we don't have any trap cards, mate. We've been so unlucky with that this game. All you need is an 1100 attack point monster. That's all you need. 7 shit. Okay, yeah, we know the game's over. Oh man, that felt bad. That was just literally not finding any bosses for so long. Like that was a ridiculous amount of time to not find any bosses. Especially considering our skill lets us search a boss. Like, that is what the skill does. But it was just never turned on. Because our opponent failed to wipe out all of our monsters. Alright. We are sort of built to win this matchup. 10 win streak. Holy. But again, he is playing, like, a top tier deck. Or at least, like, a tier 2 deck. We're not playing a top tier deck. Okay. Tributes out Star Chancer. I mean, I feel like we can't just leave Star Chancer, but like we can't out it. I mean, we can crash. No, we can't. All right, we're gonna do this. This might seem a bit weird, but like, I need to get an insect in the graveyard to use that if we do draw it. That, unfortunately, doesn't fix any of our problems. So we are just going to do this. Which is not great, but it is what it is. And if we survive the turn, which we should be able to use the skill. Because it will be turn 4. We'll have no monsters on the board, theoretically. It depends what he does. It all depends what he does. So now he can grab back Requiem. So Requiem's fine. Show them the power of the earth. I mean, we'll give it a go. Cataphract. Tributes this out. I guess we will use Freeze here. I think just getting rid of that is quite big. Summon. Summon. Activate TSA. Do you need to activate TSA here? How much damage is this going to be? This is a lot. I think we take it. I think we just take all of it, because then we can actually search Ancient Gear Golem, and ideally, we can then play the game. The downside is going to be, if he has Freeze back there, we are just going to get absolutely cooked. Wait, did I miss the prompt again? Did I miss did it come up and I just missed it? I think it came up and we missed it. Hey, Sean. Right, never mind, we drew it anyway. We're fine. Everything's A-okay. We're back on track. 1, 2, 3. So we will go Caterpillar, activate Caterpillar. Because this is dead right now, so we'll just send it to the bin. That hasn't, like, fixed our hand, but it's, like, it's semi-useful. We'll go Intruding Beetles. We'll send this. That has also really not helped our situation. Tribute 1, Tribute 2 to summon out the boy. Okay, didn't have it, which puts us in a pretty good spot here. So we'll go battle, and we will just attack over this. Okay, we've somewhat stabilized. It depends how much back row hit he gets. Please don't hit the right back row. Okay, that's fine. That's still actually quite good into this. We just said you needed to not find all the back row hate. We just got finished saying that. That's fine. You can have a little bit of burn. We don't mind that. He's made us light. Hiss. Right, what you got for us? What you got for us, Anthony? Tributes 2, summons out Void Villager Elysium. Elysium doesn't actually out this. So, like, he still needs to find something else. Grabs Elysium to hand. Right. Activates Elysium. Flips it down. Still can't out it. What's the next part of the plan? Pass. Okay. I mean, yeah, that kind of suits me, I suppose. I guess we're going to get out Dynus Dorcas, but we can't really use his effect, is the annoying thing. We also can't get Polygon Butterfly effect off unless we want to just leave it in attack mode. How much damage would this be? Swing over that, swing over that. So that'd be 200 here, plus... I mean, there is, like, potential. 3,000... that would be a 27, and we could reduce that by 3, so that goes down to 22. So that'd be 500 plus 11, 16. Are you... that we can do 4,600 damage. Are you kidding? We can't actually kill. In which case, I don't want to do it at all. So... we will... there's no point even making him an insect, is there? I guess we'll go Biomech Mantis. Activate the effect. I don't really need... yeah, we'll put Dinosaurus back in. We will reduce you. Then I'll set this. We'll tribute summon out Dinosaurus. 1, 2. Flip this up. We'll summon out Flying Kamikari, or Kamikiri. We'll go to battle. We always clear over this. We'll swing into this. He does have a back row he can use. Chooses not to. We'll swing direct. So that back row then is probably Slime. It's almost got to be Slime. But with Ancient Gear Golem on the field, we might just be fine. And he has another back row hate! Ah! So now we're just dead to anything. Well, we're dead to Requiem. Right? Requiem is just dead. Bro, how much back row hate do you need? That's pretty yikes. That's pretty yikes. And then use that, go into Requiem, and we're just dead. If it's not Requiem, we're still alive. Okay, we are still alive. Oh no, it has piercing. So that'll be 34. Flip that down, attack over it. Ah, you cringy boy. I mean, that sucks, because, like... It came down to the Ghost Cyclone, right? It was literally the Ghost Cyclone. If he didn't Ghost Cyclone us there, we were completely fine. But he just needed all the back row hate. He literally, back row hate popped a really good card, back row hate popped a really good card, and then back row hate popped a really good card, and that's the reason we lost. Which is, so sad, bro. It's so sad. I feel like we played better. He just got luckier. But I think that's kind of like the story of today's games. It is what it is. It is what it is. If you guys don't get the support, then look suspect. Yes, I'm the warrior of light fighting evil in the world. I will fight with you to purge our world with the evil and demons. What's the evil and demons? Alright. It's fine. I feel like we've... The insect deck is kind of a meme. I don't realistically think this deck is going to be overly competitive. Like, at all, really? I would like it to be. I would really like this deck to be competitive. But it's just... It's too weak into too much, right? All of the good shit in here, like the free pops and stuff, doesn't work against fusions, doesn't work against maximums. A lot of the decks that this deck does work against are just on another level in terms of like advantage generation, piercing damage, overall aggression. So they just also seem to like outpace us. So it feels like the decks we are good against are naturally better than us, and the decks we're not good against, we're not good against. So it just leads us to feeling like we don't really have any good matchups. We need more UR jewels as rewards. Yeah, I think especially because, like, on this account, I have so many UR jewels, it doesn't matter, right? On my speed account, which, you know, we made like a year ago or something, that account is starving for UR jewels. So I think they were probably giving them out a lot before, but have since stopped. It's kind of how it feels to me. Apollo Sonic. Alright, let's go Apollo Sonic. What you got for us? Ooh. I mean, I guess we're just going to do like this. I don't really want this happening like this, but I think this is the best we're going to get. I really don't need Ancient Gear Golem stuck in my hand, and there's a chance he can't clear it. I should crack the UR cards and then be traded in. I should check with UR cards. Potentially. Oh, come on, bro. Are you kidding? Are you the actual perfect out? The actual perfect out. Bro just was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to pop it. Oh, that is so annoying. That is so... No one plays All-Seeing Harvey in, like, any relevant deck. And now this, like, meme pile is just randomly playing it. And he gets the absolute perfect turn 2. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, we will summon... We'll summon. We'll activate the effect. I don't think it really matters too much. We're going to be popping something. We will go Intruding Beetles. We'll get a pop. I guess we are just going to be doing this. So we will Tribute 2. Summon this. We can't get the thing either way, so we'll do this. There's no real reason. I think we're going to do this. There's a high chance we just die from doing this, but like I want to clear his whole board. And I don't think it's realistically going to matter too much. I think we've already taken too much damage from him getting like the perfect turn 1. That we have to like take a risk, otherwise we're going to die anyway. I think that there's playing to win and there's playing not to lose, right? I think if we play that in defense, we're playing not to lose. We're not playing to win. I think going aggressive there is playing to win. We just now need a little bit of RNG on our side, right? We need our opponent to not have a way to kill us over our 400 guy. Insect deck, honestly good for casual rank climb, not good enough for competitive tournament. I mean, that's basically how it feels. Let me guess, another Harvey? Yeah, of course it's another Harvey. I mean, if he doesn't have a boss, we're still looking okay here. If he does have a boss, it's looking pretty rough. Bro, are you kidding? That's 300, right? Yeah. So that's 900 plus 12. Oh no, 100 plus the 12 plus the 8. Which it's still 9 plus 12. And he's got a Dragius anyway. Jesus Christ. He's just playing aggro. He's just playing aggro, bro. Bro, 2013 called. They want their deck back. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Play for game or play for to survive? I mean, basically, yeah, right? We could have, like, tried to stall it out. But then, I feel like we're not... we played against this guy twice already. And I really don't think Insects is built to beat Light Galaxy. And we lost the coin toss. Jesus. This is super yikes right now. I tell you what, we're going to skip this guy. We're not going to get a replay off him. We've already played against him twice. We don't really give a shit. If he wants, like, the gems or whatever for, like, ranking up, he can just have them. We want to fight someone different. So let's see if we can find someone a little bit different, playing a bit more of an interesting deck. Here we go. This is what we're talking about. Alright, it's... see, this is also a problem, though, because if he's actually playing Igdrago and he gets out, we can't beat Igdrago with this deck. But we can. We have to use our 1 of TSA. So, like, if we don't use our 1 of TSA to kill it, we can't beat it. So we're just going to have to hope he doesn't summon Igdrago. Watch now that I've said that. He's going to turn to Igdrago us. I'm going to call it now. I'm going to call it. Tomato, you're in Cog? Yes. Yes, we're in Cog Valley. Sending a message real quick. Alright. So he's using Maximum Ragnarok. So if he uses it on both of his monsters, we're going to be doing double tribute summons. Let's see what he does. Only the 1. So we're expecting Attrashoot. Right, Attrashoot comes down. I mean, there's no reason not to do this, right? So we'll just get rid of his guy. I don't think it matters what we get rid of, so we'll just do that. Okay, we get to keep off Fibron. I don't really care about Fibron, but... we don't have a boss monster. We also can't... I mean, we can out that. So we'll flip this up. We'll go Biomech Mantis. We'll go Intruding Beetles. We'll get rid of this. We'll go Biomech Mantis. We'll put Grandmoth Caterpillar back. We'll reduce this attack. Yeah, you could be an insect now as well. I can activate this. It doesn't do a lot, but I could do it. I could pop that, summon this. The issue is these guys are just too weak. I could give this 200 plus an extra 3, then it double attacks. That also gets in, that gets in. But it's still just not enough damage. So I think we're just going to summon that Jointech Leo. We'll go to battle. We'll swing. We'll just get him for 12. And then we'll get it for the Hundy. And then we'll pass. Alright. We're a little bit on the unlucky side at the moment because, like, statistically, we should be finding a boss every, like, 8 cards. Like, 7, 8 cards. So we're a little bit, like, under average right now. Let's see how this continues. Again, if the maximum comes down, it is panic mode, because there is not really a ton we can do about that. If the maximum does hit the board, we need to make sure there's no back row to stop us, we need to find our TSA, and we need to find a boss monster. We need all 3 of those things, or we can't deal with it. Well, there's a maximum piece into the grave. Maximum Ragnarok skill. So he's going to reduce the attack of one of our guys. And he's going to tribute his guy as 2 tributes. Let's see what he does. Puts a card back. Okay. Double reduce. Summons out the Yggdrago the Sky Emperor. Activates the Pot of Avarice. I don't know if I like Avarice in this deck. Do you need Avarice in this deck? I feel like Reincarnation gets you the max pieces, or Pot of Greed lets you just dig harder. Do you need the, like, reshuffling? Like, the recycling? I don't feel like you do. I mean, this is a spell card, so we can't do anything with this. So we take 8 Hundy, which is fine. Take 1,000, and take another 6 Hundy. So now we should be able to use our skill. So it should pop up on the side. There we go. Legend draw for the first time today. Okay, we'll summon out the Caterpillar. Activate its effect. Send a draw. That was the worst possible draw. We knew that was an option, but we didn't think we would draw it there. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon out the big guy. We'll set this. Go to battle, and then we are just going to swing over this. Now, this is not looking great for us, but we have got the big boy out. The big issue here is we've already got 2 Leos in the bin. If we had 3 Leos in deck, we'd be feeling really good about this board. But this is not too difficult to out. All he has to do is use the skill, reduce this attack down by 800, and then just summon any other boss. Let's see what Nail has got for us. Oh, this has been a weird one. This has definitely been a weird one. I mean, if he hasn't got a boss, we're like super chilling. But if he has, this is going to look kind of yikes. I'm actually wondering if I should build any of the new speed decks. Because Salads is like... I don't dislike Salad. I just don't have like a ton of experience with them. But like Ray was saying, they don't seem to like do much turn 1. I think Battling Boxers are the one that interests me the most. But I have heard no one say anything nice about Battling Boxers, potentially ever. I think Giorfio said that like the Battling Boxers look like they could be okay, and that was about the best I heard from Battling Boxers. No one seems to give a shit. I've heard more interest in Cristrons than the Battling Boxers, which is like so weird to me, because Battling Boxers are cool. I like Battling Boxers. And I think the Battling Boxer turn 1 could actually be not bad as well. Now obviously the skill is like a little bit fair, but like I still think that turn 1 could be not too bad. Boxers are interesting. Crystron is a love deck. Is Crystron an anime deck? Or did anyone in the anime play Crystrons? Or is it just like people just really like the gameplay / the aesthetic of the cards? The rank 5 is solid. Yeah, I think looking at all the cards, there's a lot that boxers can do turn 1, right? Like you can set the counter trap. You can get a, what is it, targeted protection. You can get a guy that makes your guys unaffected, I think. I can't remember exactly. I remember looking at a turn 1 and being like, it could be really good. Just an old Duel Links deck. I see. No anime character I've played. Yeah, I didn't think so, but I haven't watched Zexal. Or I've watched some of Zexal. I haven't watched all of Zexal, and I haven't watched all of Brains. So I didn't know if someone just used one in one of those. Or used them in one of those. Crystron's is Duel Links free-to-play fave deck. It needs its OCG support to come back. There's a lot of people that really like Crystron's though, right? There's a Japanese player called Nanao, who is a big Crystron lover. Like, I just feel like Crystron's is one of those decks that a lot of people really get behind, or really rally behind. Crystron to me is the best way to play Synchro. Axel Synchro in battle phase is amazing now that we have Quandax. I think Quandax is one of the new ones. Alright, well, we're not dead here. Right, we have to do this now, because if we don't, and we take that, and then he attacks us with the 2000, we won't get a chance to activate it. That is catastrophic. Alright, so we need to draw an insect, otherwise we're screwed. Right, Caterpillar, I need an insect off the top that I can normal summon. Okay, we can potentially play the game. This is awkward, because I can't pop both the back row and summon out Dynastalkers for obvious reasons. So we have to go Intruding Beetles. We have to send Intruding Beetles because I need to summon the Dynastalkers. I mean, that was a good hit. Unfortunately, we don't have any way to change his guys into insects at the moment. If I had a way to change his guys into insects, we would be looking so unbelievably strong right now. But now, we have to rely on him not finding back row hate. It's my favorite deck of all time. I adore it, and I discovered it by accidentally while digging for Synchro and Cyber Dragons, I think. I mean, that's always a great thing to do, right? TCB? I don't want to play TCB! We've got basically 6 TCBs in the deck. We just need to draw into them. If people read Crystrons, you just stop their plays in draw phase as they work in main/battle. Ah, I see. I mean, it's a cool one. There's a lot of decks like... not like that specifically, but ones that like people just kind of stumble upon. Like, I remember when Machina came out, and like the Machina Gadget structure deck. And I just was like, I want to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And people were like, oh, you can just play 3 of this. It's got gadgets, it's got some generic machine stuff. And I like gadgets, I like generic machine stuff. So I just built that deck, and I was like, this is amazing. And ever since then, I've always loved Earth Machine. The problem is I can't play Earth Machine in Duel Links because it takes too long, and the time is too slow for my slow brain. Haha, negate attack, nerd. Alright, come on. We just need a way to change his guys. That doesn't... We got one way. Right, we'll go Pot of Greed. That's another way. Alright. So we are Gucci then. So we summon this. We activate Biomech Mantis. We'll put back Biomech Mantis. You're an insect. I'm going to summon Biomech Mantis. I'm going to activate the effect. I'm going to put back... You send the top, you send the top. You draw. We'll put this back in. Why not? And you are indeed an insect. So next up, I can... I mean, if I use double Dynastorcus, I don't even need to use this. But, like, there's no reason to not use a Dynastorcus, right? Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon this out. Activate Dynastorcus. I guess we'll do 1, 2, 3. We'll get rid of that. We'll go Kamakiri. We'll go Insect Rampage. Put these two back. Oh my god, we don't have to pop the insect. I didn't realize that's how that works. That is kind of crazy. Now we'll refill our deck even more. Pop this, and assuming that back row is nothing... No, it's live! So it's what, slime? It's got to be slime. It's the guard! Okay, we win anyway. I was going to say, we've attacked several times. That back row hasn't lit up. That is actually so funny. This turn makes insects look good, right? That turn is like, oh, insects popping off. Look at how nuts that is. It's like, that is not the average game. That is not the average game. Those fighting words, Shui. Go on, just assume we are weak. Droplet is amazing in Crystron's, by the way, as we have Graveyard Synergy. Nice, nice. I've always liked... Droplet is a really weird card, where some decks, it feels like they take too much advantage of it. I remember when I first read Droplet, I was like, why would you play this? You have to, like, lose a load of cards to not even deal with your opponent's stuff. But the more I played with it, I was like, actually, Droplet is kind of crazy. And the first time I had encountered Droplet was in Master Duel, when I was getting back into the game, right? But I remember so many lists had it in, and I was like, why are you playing this card? And then, like, you play it a little bit, and you're like, oh, so I can use it to send a spell card or a trap that's already resolving. And I could send, like, so obviously I was playing Fluffle, so I could send, like, Toy Vendor to get that additional effect off. Like, there's just so many, like, free ways to get additional use out of it. It's just so good. Okay, my new ratios are doing well. Surprised I dodged you so much. We haven't run into you at all yet, Manicus, which is a little bit sad. I think playing against... we haven't actually played against Red Boot one time today. Straight up. Salad and Random Crystron bait box. Are you not a fan of anything in there, then, Kim Friend? Yeah, I assume that means you're not going into the box. Droplet can be amazing in Orcus too. Yeah, there's a lot of decks, I think. Like, there's a lot... It's funny how in Duel Links, I'm often just looking for, like, a Link 2 that just has the effect to discard a card that I can do on the first turn. Right? Just, people really underestimate how powerful discarding is and how scarce discarding effects can be. Okay, so this is probably Red Boot. Right, as we were saying, we haven't played against one. I don't really want to slap Dynastorcus down, because we only have the 4 bosses. Yeah, like I say, I think for me, the most interesting thing of this box is the battling boxes. By the sound... I don't know, has anyone tried out the Gemini stuff? Is anyone like, oh, the Gemini stuff might actually be quite good? Or are we just of the opinion that Gemini is, like, potentially a new skill that we would use instead of the Fleur? Did Tomato show off his Red Boot Secret Order build? I mean, I can show you it in a minute if you want, Ursus. Like, it's nothing secret. It's just something I've been, like, toying with. Ah, his back row hate killed my back row hate. Flap Dragon's going to flip something up. Go on, flip this up. Okay, that was the middle choice. We neither won nor lost. Behold my Biomech Mantis. Yes. Okay, he's going to get a free pop. Which is like super whatever. Oh, now that's annoying. Because that means he gets a direct attack of 28. Which wouldn't have been an issue, but now is very much an issue. We also lose the Fibron, so we need a way to change him into an insect. And then we are kind of good to go. 28 direct for free feels really bad. Alright, we are good to go. So we will summon out Caterpillar. We'll summon out the Fibron. Activate Fibron. You're a bug now. Then we'll Tribute 1, Tribute 2, summon, activate Deinostorkus. We'll put 1, 2, 3 back in the deck. We'll pop this. And we'll set 1, we will set 2, we'll go to battle, and we will just swing at it. Boop. And we'll pass. Unfortunately, we couldn't clear the whole board. We couldn't get a lot of damage in, but this is still pretty good. Sure, though insect testing is fun to watch. It's, again, I don't think the deck's going to be, like, super good. It feels like it's decent into, like, some very specific matchups, or if you destroy all your traps. But for the most part, it generally feels kind of weak. We didn't get a Gemini we was expecting, so people calling the deck bad or mid. What was the one we were expecting? I think we talked about this before when we went over it, but there was, because there's the Phoenix Gearfried that we already have, right? Yeah, Immortal Phoenix Gearfried is the one that I was expecting. Again, we already have it, so it doesn't matter. Insect is a skill away from being good. You have just, Shari, you've described, like, every deck in Rush. Like, there are so many decks that are, like, so close, but they just don't have a skill to tip them over, right? It's like if Insects came out pre-fusions, they would be looking really strong. Like, they still would not be able to beat Thingy very well. Maximums, but, like, every deck struggles with maximums, right? Or at least most of them. Like, you gotta remember, there was a time when everyone had to play Tribute to the Doomed and 3 copies of TSA just in case they went against the maximum player. We don't have any way to change his types. If we did, we would be over the moon, but we do not. So I guess we'll go Polygon Butterfly. Activate the effect. Well, there's Ancient Gear Golem into the bin. That potentially changes things. What's in his graveyard right now? We could give him back his back row hate. We'll go Intruding Beetles. I think we just send Polygon here. We'll get rid of that. That is also really good. So we have to summon this first. Activate. Do we just give him Pierce? No, we'll just give him the back row hate. We don't care about that. Do we even want the Ancient Gear Golem? We can only transform one of them. No, I think the Ancient Gear Golem is probably still the play. Do we just set this is the next question. So we already clear the whole board. How much damage is this? This is 600 plus 26. 32. And that leaves us with what? 12? 32? 47? 300. So if I do this, we'll use it on this. Yeah, you can be an insect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, there is a chance we do just die here, but I wanted to be aggressive. We wanted to get a load of damage in. So what do we die to? We would die to Red Boot, Shuffle 7. We are just dead. Because we'd be on 17. So Red Boot Shuffle 6 is death. Has he used his skill twice? Did he go first or second? I probably should have like tried to math this out a little bit. I think we might just be dead, depending on what he's got here. If he just has Red Boot. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Assuming he just put 2... Yeah, he must have put 2 dragons. Yeah, that is exactly lethal. Oh, that's a shame. It is what it is. Well, plus he can also use the skill to get extra 400, so it's fine. Skills don't fix everything, ask plants. Yeah, but the plant skill sucks. That's the difference, Manicus. If the skill was better, it would fix everything. I still think their skill is backwards. Exactly. The issue isn't that they have a skill, it's that their skill is awful. I wish we had a Crystron skill. What do Crystrons use right now? Like, what is the go-to Crystron skill? Because obviously, you know, some decks... You got, like, what, like, Battle of the Heroes or whatever it's called? The one that, like, gives you life points if you have enough Link arrows on the field. I'm like, that's cool, but what if you're not playing a Link deck? Like, what's the next best, like, generic skill that people are on? We're missing the Gemini's Lord, which is really good. I wish we were... Back to Bonds that Illuminate. Right, what is that? What is Bonds that Illuminate? Bonds... A bond illuminates the future? Is that the one? Lifestream Dragon and stuff? Oh. We're against Dragon Fusion, which means this is probably not going to end well for us. I don't know, look on DLM. Nobody but Duel Links free-to-play plays Crystron. RPG Prince is right there. What are you talking about? Now, I can banish field and just OTK, or I go for shooting Quasar Dragon. I mean, shooting Quasar's pretty cool. Has he used a skill yet? No, he hasn't. He hasn't revealed a skill. I mean, there's no point in using that. So we will just take our lumps here. I mean, outing just Dragius shouldn't be difficult, but who even knows? Well, no boss monster is making this more difficult than it has to be. So it's like, do we Gamba to try and find a boss? Probably not too smart. I think we probably just do this. We're probably going to take a slap to the face, but I think leaving a bunch of guys in attack mode for potentially... Because we would take a lot more if we put a guy in attack mode, right? Gandora is back. Uh-oh. Please don't hit my new set. Okay, you knew that was... Or you knew one of these two was something. So I suppose that's fine. That's not live, so that doesn't matter. Summons out another Dragius. I don't think I can let you have 2 Dragius. Activates this one's effect. Go straight to battle. So we've got 2 high levels in hand. Okay. Junk Converter brings back free level 2. It's really great. Cool. Sneezing. Alright. We'll use the skill. Watch us now draw like Dynastorkus, and... Oh, okay. We're good. We're not actually super unlucky, apparently. Do we just summon, swing over, swing direct? Probably. Nothing really changed there. So I think we probably just go for as much damage as we can, right? We'll swing over this. And we'll get in for 15. Now, we do officially have 2 face-up monsters, which means if he does just have Mirageus, a spare 7 to discard, we are dead, right? If he has normal summon... Right, so far so good. If he tributes both of these for Mirageus, we are probably dead. Because this is the power of this deck. Now, we could have tried to play around this by not attacking with the Flying Kamakiri, but we were like, yes, I have a very specific hand to kill us. Right, Mirror Gears, activate Mirror Gears effect. We might be dead. We might... Yeah, we are dead. We are just... Is he misplaying? What was the last card in hand? If the last card in hand was a level 7 dragon, he is just thrown. Okay, it wasn't. Okay. There goes a level 7 dragon, though. So we lose a whole board, and we take 4,500 damage. Which is, you know, that's not great. But, like, that wasn't... The only other option was to put that in defense. Which just feels so bad. Oh, well, that's Pot of Greed. So we can not reduce his attack, which is a little bit sad. He also doesn't have any back row for us to pop, which is also a little bit annoying. I think we always... Well, actually, we can just give him a back row to pop, right? What back row has he had? I mean, I guess it's fine. Right, we'll go Joint Tech Leo, because I think this is the only way, realistically, we're getting rid of his monster. So we'll use the effect. We'll give you back that. And I will take this. So I need 2 insects on the board. So we'll summon out this. I will go ahead and activate the effect, and we will send one of these to the grave for a card. But that's actually kind of nice, not going to lie. I would really like a different card, but I guess we have to do what we've got, right? So we will go ahead and activate Intruding Beetles. I don't think there's a reason to hold on to this, based on what we currently have. So we're going to send this. We're going to destroy this. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. So now, how dangerous are we feeling? I could leave it up, and then he has to find a back row hate, and he has to win a 50-50. Or we get super greedy. Because we could just crash, right? We could just crash. That's like the safe option. Let's get greedy. Let's get greedy. Greed all the way, baby. Let's go. All right. We're probably dead. We're probably dead. Because we really shouldn't have done that. But, like... If I crash here and he just gets another boss, he just gets to, like, swing in and crash everything anyway. And if he would have had a back... Right, we just need to win the 50-50. Right? Just don't have another one. Hold. 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 Negate! Would you... Is that exactly 2100 damage on board that you can't interact with? Is that the game, ladies and gentlemen? We did it! Woo! That was so greedy, by the way. That was actually disgustingly greedy. We should not have done that. We should not have done that. There was no world in which that was the correct play. No way he put a monster to give you game. He absolutely put a monster to give us game. So he needed... So the logic quantum was... He needed to have a monster on the field so that he could activate his back row hate. And then if he won the 50-50, he won the game anyway. So that was the logic. Was it the correct play? Probably not. But, like, if the Ancient Gear Golem survived and he put anything in defense, he was probably going to die anyway. But also, hello, Quantum. Welcome, welcome. Let's catch up with chat real quick. Imagine Gandora in Rush as a legend. Ooh. I mean, it could work, right? It kind of would work. Nothing about Rush today. Thanks, Konami. We got one brand new Kappa card. What are you talking about? That was a Rush card. See? The Jetty Ursus knows. That's Mume here as well. Welcome, welcome. There actually is Kappa is leaked. What I forgot, Converter brings back Tudor in Graveyard, and we got a deck build box a week ago. Yeah, but the deck build box was only 6 cards. It's nothing like super exciting, if you know what we're saying. Where is Rush Box, Konami? I mean, yeah, it would be nice to get a bigger injection of cards. I think the most exciting, like, week for Rush was the Go Rush launch, where we got so many cards. Before, like, it just... Like, a week after, it just became Metarian is the only deck worth playing, so it got a bit boring, but, like, up until then, it was still really, really fun. It can't activate its effects the turn that's okay. Crystron can do it on opponent's turn. Anyway, that's how the deck works. Nice. Is a side deck. That's all because fusions are high dragons, proof that drugs is bad for you kids. I mean, not wrong. You should probably get that on a t-shirt. To be fair, like just that entire thing, like explaining what a high dragon is, and the most skills you can use them. 7 stream streak from Monosync. Hello Mono. We did give a shout out to your tournament earlier, Mono, but we'll probably give out another one. Do we have a announcement yet from Quantum for his tournament? Of course we don't. Of course we don't. But I guess we'll bring this up again quick, just briefly. We have got the EDO tournament, so if anyone wants to play Rush OCG on EDO, we have the EDO Rush Duel Weekly number 2. I play in this every week. It is so much fun. That is going to be 6 PM UTC tomorrow. Look, it's me. It's me right there. Oh, you can't see me. No, it's me. It's me. And then we also got the Galaxy Rush, which is going to be on Saturday, which is also going to be a ton of fun. We'll check that in chat as well, just so everyone can see. But Quantum hasn't posted his tournament yet. I don't know what he's doing, if he's doing a Quantum Daily. Speaking of, I think there it goes. A Quantum Rush, you say? So there is going to be a Quantum Rush on today, by the look of things. I will try and sign up to this one. I've been very, very busy the last few weeks, but I am genuinely going to try and sign up to the Quantum Rush. There you go. Quantum Rush for today. So we have a tournament today, we have a tournament tomorrow, and we have a tournament on Saturday, all for the Rush folks. Now, one of them is OCG, but some people would argue that's better. Some people wouldn't. Absolutely fine either way. But either way, I'm looking forward to playing in all of them. 6 cards. I'm down for another set. I mean, yeah, anytime we get new cards, it's always going to be really exciting, right? 6 cards is nothing. I mean, basically. Very fun, thanks. Dragius for you is tier 2 or tier 3. If we're talking about the new Dragius, like, fusion deck, for me, it's like 1.5. I feel like it's not quite as good as Psychic most of the time, but it can still beat Psychic. It can still beat just about everything else, but it doesn't feel like it's in the same tier as Dark Galaxy and Metarion. It feels like it's above them. So, depending on how you think about it, I would either have Psychic tier 1, Dragon tier 2, Dark Galaxy and Metarion tier 3, or I would have tier 1 Psychic, tier 1.5 as the Dragon Fusion, and then tier 2 is the others. Depending on how you want to look at it. It's basically the same thing, but that's kind of how I would have it myself. Because again, I still think Psychic is better, but it's like, you could also just have it bottom of tier 1 or top of tier 2, and it still represents the same thing. It's just where's your cutoff points, right? Machine Sweep. This leak proves there is something for the new box, probably a mini, hopefully. Does it? Because the leak basically, if we get it back up, we can actually just have a look, right? The leak basically says that we're getting 1 rush card, which is not enough for a mini box. So, like, this is probably a ranked reward or like a roulette thing from an event or something, right? I wouldn't think this is going to be telling of there being a new box yet. When we get a leak that's got, like, you know, like 8+ cards, then I'm like, okay, mini box incoming. But I don't think a single card really tells us much of anything other than it's coming to the game eventually. But that's just my take on it. Maybe after the KC? More than likely it would be after KC. But we might also, because every time recently they've done the Speed Duel Banlist update, they've potentially done stuff for the other. So we might also get a Banlist update after KC for Rush, which it sounds weird, but they have been doing that a little bit lately, so that could also be something that happens. Yeah, rank or login event reward. That's what I'm expecting. Now, I just sent you the top 8 list. Did Ursus informed you that Machines won and has become tier 1? No. So, it's one of those things where I try to catch the tournaments live if I can. Last night, I could not. And then usually what I'll do is I will go back and look at the VOD. But unfortunately, Serena didn't have VODs on. So I couldn't watch it. So I had no idea whatsoever who did what, right? Which made it very difficult. But thankfully, I know a couple of people that are in Cloud. I mean, I could have just sent Serena a message, I suppose. That would have been the other thing. But I already have, like, a working relationship, I suppose, with Monosync. So I could just get on the list from him. But the Machine Good Stuff list, I would like to see the list. But I assume it will be on... DLM eventually, right? So that's fine. It's kind of whatever. Let's go Emperor. Emperor? We got an Emperor? I'm trying to think what Emperor references now. But hello, Parko. Yeah, I noticed there's no VOD Sag. I mean, it is what it is, right? Some people just don't want to have VODs on their channel. That's completely fine. It's not a mandatory inclusion. It's what I use to make the spreadsheet. So it makes it a little bit more difficult for me. But it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. But, although, unfortunately, loads of people have just shown up, we have kind of reached the end of our stream. We've kind of already run over by 10 minutes. So, it's a little bit sad. But we're going to be... Oh, Capo, Emperor, River Slider. Oh, it's got Emperor in its name. I see. That does make sense. But we will be... So once again, we've already posted in the chat, but there's Quantum Rush today. Tomorrow is the EDO OCG tournament. And on the Saturday is going to be Hikari's Rush tournament. We are going to be revealing who has made it into Rush Rivals on Saturday. It will be probably Saturday morning for me, so I have time to like schedule stuff and confirm with people that they definitely want to take part. For you Americans, that'll probably be like super early, like super ridiculously early. So just when you wake up, if any Americans get in, you'll have to confirm it then. That is what we're going to do. Sunday stream talk about Rush Rivals. We will probably do a Sunday stream. We do still want to play... We still want to make the Snake Clown deck, even if it's bad. We still want to try it out. And I still want to try and do something with the new Spellcaster Fusion. And we'll see how that goes. So we will probably be back on Sunday, where we should, again, probably have some more Rush Rivals news. We'll be talking about the tournaments that happened over the weekend. We'll be playing some Metarian. We'll be having a jolly old time. But thank you all so much for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.